Hey everyone, welcome to Live Breathe Film, episode 25. You're here with Corey, Doug, JP, and Murph. Thanks as always for joining us. Our main topic today, as we near the heart of the holiday season, are our favorite Christmas films. However, before we get to that, let's run through some major Disney news from last week's Investor Day, and then we'll get into what we watched over this past week. All right, so for news, this is all Disney all day. We're going to cover the news from the Fox FX side, Lucasfilm / Star Wars, Disney, both their live action and animation stuff, Pixar, and Marvel. Disney Plus was a huge focus of this whole presentation, so we'll break up both what's coming to TV and which is primarily Disney Plus, and then the film side of things, which, for a positive note, is mostly theatrical stuff. But all right, let's get right into Fox and FX. So I know some of you guys have watched Fargo in the past. What we're getting now is a new show from Noah Hawley, which is an adaptation of Alien, or a new version of Alien. It's going to be set on Earth in the near future. Ridley Scott may be an executive producer, they said. They're not like 100% sure. But of the ones coming to FX, this is the one that has me most intrigued, even though Noah Hawley's a bit hit or miss. Legion was pretty strange when they took on the X-Men stuff, but Fargo's been fantastic. You guys going to be interested in watching this, and what do you think about it being on Earth, considering it's always been in space? With the exception of Alien vs. Predator, but
yeah,
we pretend those didn't happen.
I think some bad shit's got to happen for it to get to Earth, huh?
Yeah. Does it take place in the same continuity of the movies, or is it like a soft reboot type of thing? Did they say?
I believe it's in the same continuity, but that's what's strange. If it's set in the near future,
Okay.
In the near
and it's on
future.
Earth.
Interesting.
Yeah, it would be before even before Prometheus.
All the movies.
Yeah.
That'd be a prequel.
Yes.
So, do you guys think we're gonna see the Xenomorph do like some dance numbers,
That'd be nice.
or like that's like my Noah Hawley is Legion, where they're just doing like these fucking bonkers
strange concept stuff.
Yeah, I don't know. It doesn't make a whole lot of sense, because maybe they have to go back and edit the ones then when they see the aliens on the spaceship. They're like, oh, it's that thing where there are fucking hundreds of them on Earth. Like
we dealt with these already. Yeah.
I feel like Ridley Scott would want nothing to do with this. He wants to continue his weird Prometheus movies.
Yeah, how can you have aliens without the black goo?
Yeah, I don't know. It's a little
It's
strange.
true. He needs to complete like his 17 film Prometheus arc.
Yeah, I'm definitely interested.
Other movies he makes every single year.
Yeah, unless the trailer comes out and it blows me away, I'm not really too interested in it. Alien's definitely a lot better when it takes place on a closed ship.
Mm-hmm.
Even the Alien vs. Predator movies were a little stupid.
A little
fucking stupid. But,
Predators was good. I think that was the one that was good.
The second Predators with Danny Glover?
No, the one.
That would be Predator too.
The Predator. The most recent.
Yeah, the one with Adrian Brody, right?
Yeah, that one.
That was great. I like.
Yeah, that was good. But I don't know. It didn't have anything to do with anything. It was just
Predator's not involved in this. I mean, I'm sure they'll reboot Predator again. I feel like I've already heard that fairly recently, that they're already planning on another one. They just fucking get off on just putting out this series that never hits since the first one.
Now, was this a project that was going before the acquisition, or was this after, you think?
I believe it was after, but I had heard about it kind of a while ago, and then it had been brought up in a lot of the exit interviews for the latest season of Fargo, which ended a couple weeks ago. People kept asking him about it, and he was just like, I don't know, I haven't heard anything about it in a while, aka I have to keep my mouth shut for another week.
He's like,
I signed an NDA and can't talk about it.
Yeah,
interesting.
but That should probably come out, I would imagine, in 2022, if not 2021. All right, moving on with FX. They're doing adaptations of Why the Last Man and Shogun. I'm not familiar with either of these. Are any of you?
Well, Why the Last Man
That's
is
a
something they've been
comic
making
book.
for the last decade, I think.
Yeah.
I remember reading about that on like Coming Soon, I feel
Like way back in the day.
way
Yeah.
back in the day.
Yeah, they definitely been developing that for a while. But I remember reading the comic. It's good, but I don't know. I mean, I'm sure there'll be people that'll be interested in it. Shogun, I have no idea what that is.
Sounds like something you'd like, though.
It does.
Oh
sound like
yeah,
something
I mean
I'd
it's
like.
set in feudal
my wheelhouse.
Japan.
In
So
my wheelhouse.
I mean, you couldn't possibly be more the target audience for this show.
Absolutely.
If I'm not mistaken, it's a second adaptation of it. So go look into the archives and find this original one and get into it. Become a fanboy before everyone else does.
All right, and I'll report back.
Perfect. Next up is a series about the Rolling Stones called The Stones. Apparently, it's got a 2-season. I don't know if it's supposed to be 2 seasons total or if it was already picked up for the first 2 seasons, but that's going to be coming. Be interesting to see who they cast as Mick Jagger, Keith Richards, and the rest of the gang.
I thought HBO already did this.
They did Vinyl, which was produced by Mick Jagger and Martin Scorsese,
Okay,
but it had nothing to do with the Rolling Stones.
gotcha.
Hugh Jackman as Mick Jagger.
And that show was canceled after 1 season. So
Yeah, it looked like absolute.
this show's already ahead. It's got 2 ready to go.
Hey, right out the bat.
And then lastly for FX, we have the exciting news for fans of It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia that it's been renewed for another 4 seasons. So basically, Danny DeVito will be doing this show until he's dead. Hopefully, it's a long time from now, and they do another like 15 seasons in the meantime.
It's the longest running show on TV, or will be, right?
No,
it's going to be the longest running live action.
Yeah, because
sitcom
Simpsons
of all time.
is still going.
Oh yeah, that's true.
And then you still have your SVUs and shit like that on the drama side. But it is going to be the longest sitcom ever after the next season.
I mean, like SNL has been running for longer.
Yeah, as like a sketch comedy show, without a doubt.
It's still.
But yeah, it's basically like a comedy institution at this point. It's been on for so damn long.
What did Seinfeld go?
9 seasons.
Wow, feels like a lot longer than that.
Yeah. The difference between now and back in the day is a season of Sunny is like 10 episodes, but a season of Seinfeld would be like 22.
Right, that's probably why.
The episode landscape has changed so much just in the past 20 years, let alone way back in the day when Ozzie and Harriet ran 14 or 15 seasons or whatever. But on Fox's film side, this wasn't actually announced at the Investor Day, but it was announced the following day. For some reason, they didn't mention Avatar or any of the Fox properties at the Investor Day.
Doug's upset.
Of course he is. They did announce the following day was that The Kingsman is delayed another month. COVID. No surprise there. They want it to be a theatrical release. Vaccine news has been positive, so hopefully movie theaters are in a better position to actually get audiences when it comes out in March. The Ryan Reynolds film Free Guy that was supposed to come out this past December is now, and before that last July, is now coming out in May. So that's their kind of big early summer film. And then Death on the Nile is now coming out in September. So that was basically pushed back a full year as well. But not much to add on those fronts other than the fact that they are all coming out in theaters, which is a good sign for AMC, Cinemark, Regal, etc., if they can survive to that point.
Yeah.
All right. Moving on to the Lucasfilm front, which is primarily Star Wars. We'll start with all the TV shows. All of these are coming out to Disney+. We've talked about some of them in the past. Some of them we had no idea about. Some of them we had an inkling, but we can jump right into them right now. Positive news on the Mandalorian front is that season 3 is going to be coming out Christmas 2021. So they're still following the usual yearly schedule, which is fantastic. That the way that they film it, JP, that you mentioned last week, is definitely a major reason why they're able to pull this off, because they have those crazy indoor sets.
Yeah. No, they're
It's a
amazing.
little
Gotta
it's a little
sell.
delayed though, right? Compared to the last 2 seasons.
I
guess a little
guess
bit.
season 1 was November, season 2 was October, and season 3 December.
Yeah.
So they're just
I guess
always
maybe like
a
COVID
Q4
pushed
show.
them a little.
It could be that. It could be the way that the MCU shows are finally all airing in 2021. They want to make sure one goes at a time. Could be
Maybe
something
they
like
just
that.
have more ambition for the season. Maybe there's like a lengthier shooting schedule or something. Who knows?
It seems like 2022 will be the first year where there's a lot of TV shows airing at the same time that has like geek nerd fandom interest. But until then, they kind of have to just like go 6 weeks, the show ends, then the next one starts and whatever. But we'll get into Marvel later. So yeah, other than Mandalorian season 3, they did officially announce an Ahsoka spinoff, along with a Rangers of the New Republic spinoff. We don't know who's in that one, but we know it's in the Mandalorian universe. Dave Filoni and Jon Favreau are producing both of these. I believe Filoni is more lead on Ahsoka, and then
Which
the two
makes
of
sense.
them, are kind of hand in hand with Mandalorian or with Rangers. But who are you thinking is going to be on Rangers of the New Republic? Do we think it's going to be
Carano, for sure.
Gina
Yeah, Gina
Carano,
Carano.
Cara Dune?
And
Yeah.
probably Bill Burr.
Yeah,
That's what I was hoping.
Yeah.
After
Even
the
though he
latest
died,
episode.
you know.
yeah. I think JP's right. I think the two
I thought
of
that-
them.
Yeah, I thought that after the latest one, like you're setting him up, like he could totally be a Ranger. He's fucking great sharpshooter.
And they have great chemistry. Like they were really good together in this last episode. I could definitely watch a show with the two of them.
Yeah, I mean, you have Gina Carano. She's a straight woman. To Bill Burr's comic guy,
Yeah.
who also can do good dramatic acting.
Yeah.
I was gonna say he's
Yeah, so
not,
we'll get
not
to
just a
later.
comic guy.
Yeah, I mean, this dude's he's had a good 2021 between King of Staten Island, SNL, and Mandalorian.
Yeah, I think not doing those two is a huge mistake.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Because they proved this episode it was like sort of like a, you know, like we were getting honey dicked. Like
Yeah.
we're like, hey guys, look at this chemistry. Look at it. Oh no, look at him go away. No, he's gone forever. But he'll be back.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But I mean, we have no idea when these two are coming out. They did not give many release dates when it came to their Star Wars TV shows. I would one maybe come out in 2021 and the other in 2022. We shall see. Next up, we have an official title now. Obi-Wan Kenobi. Very original.
It should be Old Ben. It should be the entire.
That would have been cool. That would have been cool. If they do a second miniseries, because this is, I guess, an event series, 6 episodes, I believe. Maybe in the next event series could be Old Ben. It could be take place right before A New Hope. Another 10.
I'll take my check when that happens.
This is kind of fascinating to me because with Hayden Christensen coming back, it's very exciting. But
yeah, how would it like?
It
in
probably
what
means
capacity?
no James Earl Jones.
That's-
They're showing him as Darth Vader.
See, I was
That's
thinking.
insane.
Yeah, I was thinking that because obviously Hayden Christensen isn't just going to be in the Darth Vader suit. They're not going to pay him the money for that. I think there's going to be some flashbacks.
I would hope so.
It could be flashbacks. It could be Obi-Wan, like imagining conversations with like a fake Force Ghost.
Yeah.
Of
I think it's going to be more.
Anakin. It could be him, the mask coming off.
Yeah.
In certain scenes.
Yeah.
Like
I think
when
James
he's
Earl
in his
Jones will be
fucking
back.
Christensen's voice.
When he's in his little pod thing.
Yeah. I just can't see it
He's
just
just like
being.
all fucked up looking.
Yeah.
And they're like, why does he age like 100 years in the next 10 years?
I can't see it just being just being him in the suit. I think that they casted him for a reason.
Well, it wouldn't make sense for if it's him in the suit because presumably they'd still do James Earl Jones's voice.
You
I
would
mean,
hope
you
so.
gotta
like-
you gotta
have
use
to.
James Earl Jones as long as he's alive.
Yeah.
Um,
And he'll do
Yeah.
it.
But it was Hayden in the suit at the end of Revenge of the Sith.
Yeah. No, it was. It was. Yeah.
yeah, he was him walking in it, and then it was James Earl Jones's voice.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Which I assume they'll still do, but I feel like he's got to be used for some other scene.
Yeah, that would be
things.
dumb to just have him walk around.
Yeah, he's getting a paycheck just for that. A paycheck just for that. I mean,
James Earl Jones's voice.
It'd be funny if every time he spoke when he had the mask off too, they dubbed James Earl Jones over it as well.
God.
Oh god. But yeah, I'm really hoping this one comes out next year.
It's been in the oven for so long.
I feel like it could potentially be, probably not this year. It's going to be a 2021 show. I imagine we'll find out this summer. We'll get some official release dates. But Andor is definitely coming out in 2022. That is the title of the Cassian Andor Rogue One spinoff prequel series. I believe it's 10 episodes. I guess they kind of described it as a spy espionage like type movie with Tony Gilroy being, I believe, the showrunner. He's done the Bourne movies, and he did the rewrites of he wrote Rogue One and then directed the additional scenes when then there was the backstage drama, and he kind of changed up the movie.
Didn't they add that last scene in when they did those reshots?
They added the Darth Vader stuff. Yeah.
He can do whatever he wants in this movie. I don't care.
Yeah, I'm
Fucking
excited
amazing.
for this.
Yeah.
Especially with the little bit of footage that they showed of, they're building the sets at this point and kind of getting ready to start filming. And I was like, wow, this looks really cool. Like they're putting forth like the same effort, as they do with the movies, which is cool.
Yeah, the production value looks high.
Yeah, like everything they put out this past week, the production value was, or this past week was fucking through the roof.
Mm-hmm.
It was hard to believe I was watching potential TV shows at some point. So
Yeah,
Exactly. And then the last two TV shows on the live action front that we heard about, the first was Lando. We do not yet know who is playing Lando. Do you guys think it's Donald Glover,
I feel like it has
Billy
to
D.
be.
Williams,
It's got to be Donald Glover.
or
Yeah.
somebody else?
It has to be Donald Glover.
I don't know. I think he's probably a little too big britches to do something like that now. I might be done with it. I don't think it's gonna be an old Billy D. Williams though.
Oh, can you imagine? Can
so
you
you
imagine
think
a show with just
You
Billy
think it's
D.
going to be a
Williams?
recasted?
I think it'll be a recasted younger one. I think. I mean,
Somebody maybe a similar
think
age
so.
to Billy D. Williams in Empire Strikes Back, maybe
that would be cool. Like a in
like
between
a mid
Empire.
like a mid 40s type of Lando.
I would like that. That would be a lot of fun. Although I would like to see the Lando where he's just like this grifter dude with the baller ass cape and all that kind of stuff, but not in the shitty ass Han Solo movie.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I feel like if they already know which one's playing them, they would have announced it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So, but
That's true.
That's insane also to announce the show without knowing who's playing your main character when two huge actors have played him in the past. But
maybe they're thinking because of so much of the bad press with Solo, they don't even want any of the same actors involved.
Yeah.
I mean, if you can get Donald Glover, I think you got to get Donald Glover.
Or
I mean,
maybe he doesn't want to
He
do it
played
because of that.
he played Simba for them after, and
Yeah,
that movie
yeah.
made a
Yeah.
fucking fortune.
You gotta assume they're gonna at least make a play to try to get Donald Glover involved.
You would think.
And again, I feel like a lot of these shows are going to be miniseries, like event series. So they have to get him for one season. Just put the fucking Brinks truck up to his backyard and get him to go. I know he's got 2 seasons of Atlanta to film this year, or in 2021. But yeah, we'll see. I mean, the showrunner, I don't know, is Justin Simeon of Dear White People fame. I've never seen any of his work before, but I know that show has a following. So hopefully, apparently, he's a huge fan of the character. So
That's good.
Yeah, it's the type of people you want running these types of shows, especially when they're not like the main characters of a series. But
yeah, a Lando TV show. I mean, I don't really know a whole lot about Lando except for that he's smooth talking guy that makes terrible deals with evil people.
But then you think I feel like Han Solo would have to show up depending on what time period it is. What time period it takes place.
Yeah.
So what are they going to recast Han Solo again?
I just have
He's a solo cast.
Aaron, yeah, they're
Yeah. I mean, maybe that guy's taking acting lessons between the time that Solo came out and now.
They can have like Emilia Clarke come back too, or
no, Emilia Clarke doesn't have to come back.
Yeah, I agree with Doug.
she's good.
Well, there's that whole thing with Darth Maul in Solo at the end there.
Yeah,
that would be cool to. I just want Darth Maul back. You already gave me Boba Fett. Give me Darth Maul again. Come on.
The show is just gonna be like a love story between Lando and his ship that he's just banging because he was in love with that. He was in love with that robot.
And that weird, the dude with the droopy cheeks next to him. Hell yeah.
Ugh.
The Adventures of Lando and Droopy Cheeks Alien.
Is that Nib or Nub? Nub? Isn't that him?
Name?
Yeah,
I think so.
I think his name is something like that. Nub, Nim Nub. I don't know.
Someone can fact check us.
Let's go.
We'll have to fact check that.
And then the last live action show, which sounds pretty awesome. It's called The Acolyte. Leslie Headland of Russian Doll, the Netflix show. She's going to be running it, and it takes place at the end of the High Republic era, which is something we have not seen on a live action Star Wars property yet at all.
We're starting to get a little of it though in Mando, and it's been really, really cool. Like,
well, no, the High Republic's like 1,000 years in the past.
Oh,
right?
Okay, so it's like, all right, that's like,
yeah,
we're in the new.
Yeah, this is like way before. Like none of the characters that we know will even exist.
Like I think Yoda could be the only possible character that we know that could be in it potentially.
Oh yeah, we could get like a young Yoda,
or like a
Yoda.
Like I don't know if they could do that.
we could get like the real baby Yoda.
What was it? Darth Tyrannus?
Yeah.
Wasn't that the one they talked about in Revenge of the Sith? Maybe I don't know if he'd be possible, but Star Wars fans are going to have to tell us what we're sounding stupid about.
Darth Plagueis.
Oh, Darth Plagueis, yes.
Yeah.
Who the fuck is Darth Tyrannus?
He's from one of the video games.
Yeah. When I saw this, I imagined. I don't know if you guys remember the Knights of the Old Republic video games from back when we were kids. The role-playing games. I feel like that's kind of the time period they're going for, because that takes place like at least I think like 1,000 years before Star Wars, New Hope and those movies, where the Republic and the Jedi are like more prevalent.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe that's what I thought.
This is about like Sith starting to come back into it, right, or something like that. I read the synopsis and it sounded like there's like some weird culty stuff going on with like the Sith starting to rise again.
Yeah. They're in hiding and like they're coming back.
Yeah, isn't there like assassination plots like involved in the show or something? Thought I read. Maybe I'm imagining shit. But either way, the Acolyte will likely come in the next 2 or 3 years. But on the animated side, we have the Clone Wars spin-off, The Bad Bitch.
Bad bitch. The baddest bitch.
Use a bad bitch.
Starring Samuel L. Jackson.
Ooh.
Now we have
Wallace.
Get big
we
rings.
have,
in fact, look like a bitch.
We've got the Bad Batch. They were introduced on the most recent season of Clone Wars, and now they're getting their own show. Other than that, there's going to be a C-3PO R2-D2 animated show called A Droid Story, where it's going to be the two of them on adventures with some new owner or something of the sort. That should be
It's going to be a
more
sitcom.
for children, I would imagine.
Kids will love that shit.
Yeah.
They'll eat that up.
And
It's like
then
Always Sunny.
Yeah, exactly.
Danny DeVito playing R2-D2.
I mean, I would
It's like
watch
fucking Gold Member when Danny DeVito's mini-me.
What a good cameo.
And then the last show we've got is Star Wars Visions. It's going to be like an anime type show. I believe it has a bunch of different people
It's
that work
true
in anime
anime too, right?
creating. Yeah,
It's like
I believe so.
Japanese artists.
Sounds like
up
it's
there.
gonna be like like the Animatrix. That's what I immediately thought of it.
They made that. I forgot
They did.
about
That was a thing.
Oh yeah, I wonder what studio is making it. What anime studio? I don't know if they announced it.
I do not believe they did.
That I'd be interested to see who it is.
All right, but on the films front, who's pumped for Rogue Squadron?
I played the shit out
It's
of
kind of
it.
cool.
Dude, I'm excited
I'm pretty
for. I'm
pumped for that.
excited for this one. That hype video that they had with Patty Jenkins
Patty Jenkins.
got me fucking jacked, which I never
He's
thought.
got like the helmet.
I never thought Patty Jenkins would get me so excited for really anything, but
I mean, she's such a good
her
director.
the story that she was talking about, like with her father and everything like that, and how she's always wanted to make a fighter pilot movie. Whether she's always, it sounded fucking true, and just showing the fucking plane and everything. I'm excited for this one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, outside of lightsabers, spaceship battles are the best thing about Star Wars. So,
And we don't
if you
get
made
enough
a
of
movie
it.
about lightsabers, that's probably the only.
Are they going to
top that.
destroy another Death Star?
Hell yeah!
Because if you go back to every Star Wars movie, like 2/3 of them ends with them destroying a Death Star or something.
How about
very
this?
similar to it.
Well, you
How
got
about-
to write a passage?
How about instead of it being one Death Star, it's like 2 or 3 of them connected?
2 Death Stars at the same time.
Yeah, at the same time they're connected or like
Yeah,
floating
it's
in
a-
orbit with each other.
It's a triple Death Star, like a triple cage match and ready
Yeah.
to rumble.
Death Stars.
You can't do
With
2
a
Death
Z.
Stars though, because they would look like boobs,
That's true.
and that Disney would be like, cannot do that.
Yeah, I don't think hormonal middle school kids will be able to handle Star Wars and boobs at the same time. They'll be exploding in the movie theater.
They both shoot the lasers at the same time. While the kids just start giggling at the. Oh man, no, don't do that.
It's
This one,
It's another DC Marvel crossover.
Oh yeah.
As far as directors go, you've got
Yeah.
Patty Jenkins, who did Wonder Woman.
Mhm.
yeah, they poached her from Warner Brothers.
Like it's not Marvel, but Disney.
Well, I mean, at this point, it's like Disney fucking owns everything. So if you,
I have to
if you go do
imagine-
a Warner's movie.
I have to
Yeah,
imagine
the Empire.
that Kathleen Kennedy talked to Pedro Pascal and asked asked his opinion because he's in the new Wonder Woman movie and worked with Patty Jenkins.
Yeah.
And they've been talking about getting a female director for so long. So that was definitely an initiative of theirs. And right now she's pulling in more money than anyone else in regards to box office.
Mm.
So it made sense. But yeah, this is the next Star Wars film, December 2023. They had previously mentioned that there'd be films coming out in 2023, 5, and 7, alternating between the Avatar sequels. So we've got Rogue Squadron for 2023. It looks like the Taika Waititi movie will be the one coming out in December 2025, since that was the only other one they talked about. We don't know anything else about it, but it was good to hear them confirm it. Notable in regards to the film front that they did not mention anything about the Rian Johnson films. I believe he was supposed to be starting a trilogy.
Oh wow.
They did not
Take them
mention
away.
the J.D. Dillard one that was fairly recent news, or the Kevin Feige related one, unless he's involved in the Taika one, and they just did not talk about that. But because Feige was only supposed to produce, right? He wasn't actually directing a Star Wars film.
I hope not.
Yeah, I don't think he was directing.
Dude would be way too busy to do that.
Yeah.
But it doesn't necessarily mean that these things aren't happening. Could just be they're so far along in the future that there's no reason talking to people investing in their company right now about them. But would any of these disappoint you if they were not happening anymore?
Taika. That'd be the only one. Obviously, don't have to worry about that. Hope they ever make those Rian Johnson movies.
Yes, I know the internet was a little giddy about the fact that they did not talk about him, and everyone saying, we're right, we knew they weren't going to make these movies or something like that, or Disney has a bad relationship with Rian Johnson now.
Disney should have no relationship with Rian Johnson. None.
Yeah, but he could be going the way of the Game of Thrones writers and all those other ones in the past who were supposed to do a Star Wars film, but did not. Colin Trevorrow, Josh Trank, etc., etc. Yeah, that's it for Star Wars. Other projects from Lucasfilm that were discussed. Indiana Jones, that is still on track for July of 2021, or sorry, July of 2020, July of 2022. They did say this would be the 5th and final Indiana Jones movie. So that was something.
I mean, how many more can you do with with Harrison Ford?
I know, but I don't know. Hopefully they do not like reboot it in 5 years, but it wouldn't shock me at all if they did.
Yeah, he's gonna have a daughter in this one now because they tried.
They tried the son.
Now he's gonna have a daughter, and they're gonna be like, he's just gonna hand the whip over to her because it's so hot right now.
They should just bring back Mutt Williams. Bring him back. Bring back.
What if
I don't
it was
think
like
anyone's touching.
They still have to digitally insert or digitally prove him at this point from Kingdom of the Crystal Skull.
It's just vines swinging in one scene. No one's on them.
So,
because he's king of the monkeys, apparently.
How old is Harrison Ford now? 70.
He's going to be 80 when this movie comes out.
Oh my god! So they have to film it next year. They have to.
They film it in the spring of 2021.
Okay, so he's going to be close to 80 when they're filming it.
He'll be 78 when filming it, and he'll be 80 when it comes out.
God.
Maybe he'll be 79 when he finishes filming it.
Yeah.
Do you think they have him locked up when they're not filming?
I don't know. I mean, he's busy flying and crashing planes. So.
It's true. He survived 2 plane crashes already.
Yeah.
Right? Or was it just the one?
No,
I think it was 2.
More than one.
It was multiple, yeah.
But
he's a daredevil.
Yeah, I just like, how are you gonna have him do like anything action related? I guess you're not.
He punched Ryan Gosling in the face like 5 years ago in Blade Runner 2.
He was a spry 74.
Doug, do you remember?
That's an 80-year-old man.
Do you remember Christopher Lee as Count Dooku? I mean, they did it with him. And mind you, the special effects were terrible now. But
Christopher Lee did
do that same
breakdancing
thing
in the Lord of the Rings too.
Yeah,
that's true.
And then flew into the air.
Yeah.
And he was like fucking 90.
Yeah.
Or was that Ian McKellen that did that? Fucking, it's the same shit. He's old as fuck too.
I don't know. I wouldn't doubt Harrison Ford. My only hope is I would doubt that the movie's good. But James Mangold, they officially announced him that he's directing it.
Good director.
So it's not Spielberg for the first time ever. Spielberg's sticking on as producer, but and George Lucas is not coming up with any of the story for the first time ever. So I don't know.
We get archaeology. Like, make it more about him finding pieces rather than like dodging gunfire.
Like National
Put
Treasure.
some of that in there, but
yeah, exactly. But have a healthy balance.
Do we need to have a?
I would like a good one to close things out.
Yeah.
Even though, when's this going to take place? The 70s? He's going to be doing fucking disco?
It's just him punching hippies and shit.
Senile old man just like punching hippies and yelling at them.
I would watch that. I really would.
And what were you going to say, Doug? What do we need?
Oh, I just like, I don't know that I want to see like Harrison Ford digging for artifacts.
Dinosaur
That's not
bones.
what I mean, but like the lore of Indiana Jones is just so good. Like how he finds the stuff, and when he's looking for the Knights Templar shrine in the library and going through all that. That's like to me, that's my favorite part of Indiana Jones. It's just all the like the world building they
Yeah,
do.
like and like the puzzles and
Yeah.
stuff are kind of neat. Yeah,
I mean,
it'd be
like,
cool
more
if
of that.
they went back to that. Yeah, for sure.
Rather than fucking surviving a nuclear blast in a fucking refrigerator, and then
Or going
finding
over a couple
alien
waterfalls.
skulls. Yeah, going over a couple waterfalls. You have a friend who's an enemy, but he's a friend again. Then he's an enemy, and he's a friend again.
Yeah, but
Yeah, I don't remember where he landed. Was he ultimately an enemy or a friend?
Yeah,
he
he
was
was a piece of shit,
ultimately an
yeah.
enemy.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Doesn't he get zapped by the aliens, right? Kate Blanchett and her awful
Yeah,
wig
I
get
believe so.
zapped, and he dies as well.
Or no, he falls off a waterfall. I
Murph's
think.
like,
I believe he falls.
please stop making me relive this movie.
That was kind of what I was thinking.
It's so fucking bad.
All right, and then we're getting a Willow TV show. I've never even seen the Ron Howard film,
Amazing.
but
Oh, you got it! It's starring Val Kilmer.
gonna be-
It's
Yeah.
great.
it's gonna be a TV show, and Warwick Davis is in it.
So good.
It's probably gonna be.
But
awful, but
That's set for 2022. So you got a couple years to catch up on the film.
great film.
And then lastly,
Kilmer.
they're. What about Val?
He's fucking ripped in it. It's crazy.
Yeah.
This is like ass kicking barbarian Val
It
Kilmer.
was, I guess, around the time that he was Iceman.
Yeah.
And then they are doing an adaptation of Children of Blood and Bone. It's supposed to be a pretty popular book. I'm not familiar with it, but it's exciting to see the fact that Lucasfilm, they're not just resting on their laurels and doing all Star Wars. They are branching out and doing some other things. Ever since 2012, their focus has been Star Wars. So I feel like they feel confident they've gotten things right there. So now they can do a little bit more. All right. Next up, we've got Disney. We've got a bunch on the live action front and animated front for Disney Plus. So we are getting that Beauty and the Beast spinoff about Gaston and LeFou.
LeFou his little buddy
That's Josh Gad's character, right?
Josh Gad's
It's Josh Gad.
LeFou.
And what's his face from Fast and Furious 6?
I never seen that.
The bad guy in Fast and Furious 6.
Shaw?
Yeah.
He's Gaston.
Well, who
Yes.
played? That's the same actor who played Gaston in the movie, right?
I
Yeah.
never seen that movie.
Was it Owen Shaw?
Yeah, Owen Shaw. Or Deckard Shaw.
Why can't I find his fucking name?
I can't remember his name either.
Fred.
Luke Evans.
Yeah.
But it's going to have new music from Alan Menken, who did the Beauty and the Beast, like the original animated and live action music. It's like supposed to be some musical event series. I think only 6 episodes. Nothing crazy.
Josh Gad loves singing.
He does. Did any of you guys see the trailer to the Mighty Ducks Game Changers?
No, I didn't see it.
Nope.
Don't get too excited, Corey.
Is there any Emilio in it?
Yeah,
Yes, it does. It's got a lot of Emilio in
I
it.
love me some Mighty Ducks.
They're kind of doing a whole Cobra Kai like type of thing, where the Ducks are the bad guys in this series. But Emilio is no longer the coach, or Coach Bombay is no longer the coach of the Ducks. And now this new group of ragtag losers are starting their own hockey team, and Emilio is going to coach them.
Is Hans in it, or his?
I don't think Hans
Hans or
Jan or
Jan?
Franz. None of them are in this one.
Why? Oh, come on.
What about the dentist?
The wolf Stanson?
All the way from Iceland.
I mean, if they could grab him, I'd be very pleased.
God, that would be amazing.
I would have to.
And everything.
He wasn't in the trailer. I would have to assume there will be cameos from former Ducks.
There's not a
Joshua
lot that they would.
Jackson.
There's not a lot that they would have to do to get me on board with this show. Sadly.
Well, it's coming soon. I think it's like a spring show, like an early 2021 show. But other than that, we've got some weird ones. Who wants a Turner and Hooch TV show with Josh Peck?
Ooh, no, sorry,
because that is happening.
Wasn't Tom Hanks in that? Was it Tom Hanks?
He was, and Josh Peck is playing Tom Hanks' son.
Who's playing Hooch though? Because that's big for me.
Josh Gad.
Hey, does the dog sing too?
Yeah, it's a musical show.
That's coming out. And we've got Swiss Family Robinson, a new adaptation of that.
That's
A
interesting.
new adaptation of Percy Jackson and the Olympians, because I guess that Logan Lerman series didn't do well enough for Fox.
It's not even like
in
that
theaters.
old of a.
No, it's not.
No.
It's like 10 years.
Was
That was like
7 movies?
riding on the. That was trying to ride on the coattails of Harry Potter.
Yeah.
Yeah, it definitely was.
Yeah.
And I think there was like 2 and they gave up.
2? I thought there was a lot.
There might have been a lot of books.
Yeah,
I think
there
they wrote a
was
lot of books. I
Yeah.
thought they just kept making those movies because they're like, don't care if they don't make money. We love making them.
Yeah, no, that was one they gave up on. Similar to like Divergent and like Chronicles of Narnia. They
Those
just would
movies
stop.
suck. I saw all 3 of those.
You poor man.
Oh god, yeah, they're so bad.
I do feel kind of bad for the big Divergent fans though, since they cut it off the 4th one. All they had to do was do one more movie, and they're like, nah, third one
I'm
did bad.
shocked they made it past the first one.
They didn't even
That's
complete the story. Oh,
No,
gosh,
that's what happens
That's
when you
terrible.
when you cut these final ones into 2 movies. That's the type of shit that happens.
They're lucky they got 2 movies at Hunger Games too, because they did not need to cut that movie into 2
No.
parts.
So
Now,
bad.
hopefully, that whole cutting into 2 with the last chapter is over with. A part of American history.
No, it's not. They're still
film
making
history.
Fantastic Beasts movies. They're cutting a 45-page book into 9 movies.
Well, they're spinning the script. It doesn't even have anything to do with the book.
But we got Mads,
Um,
at least.
Yeah, and we got a new John Stamos show. So
Oh.
Love me some John
yeah,
Stamos.
John Stamos is bringing his talents to Disney Plus. In some sort of girls basketball show called Big Shot. I imagine he's going to end up being a coach.
Like Coach Carter, but
Might be
with
the
John
role.
Stamos.
They probably announced it, but these things are just very predictable. So call it. You hear it here first. He's going to be a coach.
There you go.
And then something called the Mysterious Benedict Society, starring Tony Hale and Kristen Shaw.
Love both of them.
Yeah, believe this is something that has a following as well. But yeah, they're two actors that were in the Toy Story 4, so they're sticking with Disney.
They're great, like comedic characters too. Like,
Mm.
it'd be
Yeah.
fun, unless it's a completely serious story, in which case,
Who knows? All right, and then on the Disney animated front for Disney Plus, a lot of spinoffs of movies that they've made over the past 15 years. We got Zootopia Plus, which I believe is just shorts. Baymax, which is a Big Hero 6 spinoff. I believe this is a full-length like TV show.
Terrible.
Moana, which the kids love, and
Some good
Tiana
songs.
because they need to promote Splash Mountain.
Mhm.
So that's a Princess and the Frog spinoff.
Jesus,
I do
that's
like Moana.
Fucking, like 15 years ago.
Yeah.
I know.
You think The Rock
Are
will
these
return?
straight to? Sorry, Corey.
Do you think The Rock will return for Moana? I imagine he has to, right? He's got to reprise his role.
I don't know if like that's a short or if it's a full-length show. I don't know. I think Tiana is a full-length. I also don't know if they're going to put any sort of care into making these things good. Because I mean, there's been so many like Disney animated movies that have had like sequel films that are direct to DVD, to VHS. So many ones that have been on like Disney Channel. I don't think any of them are supposed to be good.
No.
I don't know if like Disney Plus is going to be. They're going to focus on actually making quality like sequels and stuff to their properties
Yeah.
when it comes to their animated films.
Or if they're just trying
So
to
if they
add.
were, then I would assume The Rock would be in it. But we're in uncharted territory.
You need filler, and I feel like this is
Yeah.
something they can produce with minimal budget and just fill up. I was worried that Zootopia Plus was another streaming service. It's a weird name for it.
Just Zootopia.
Yeah, it's
yeah,
just all
it's like
Zootopia
all
stuff.
animal shows and stuff. Thank goodness that's not the case.
But yeah, I don't know when any of these shows are coming out, but they will be coming out.
I bet one of them comes out next week. Probably
Oh.
Baymax. It's like an airbag that speaks.
Ugh, God, that movie was so bad.
That's surprising
Alright.
because it feels like your movie.
I wanted to like
It really does.
I wanted to like it. I was very disappointed. Still am when I think about it.
But moving over while we're speaking about films, moving over to that side of things. Only one of their films that were intended to go to theaters only is going both to theaters and Disney Plus. They're doing a HBO Max sort of thing, except for on Disney Plus, it is you have to pay extra. It's similar to Mulan. So they're
that probably worked out for them then.
I think they are trying every single combination of things to see which one does best.
Makes sense.
Because if Mulan worked so well, then I don't think they'd even bother with theaters.
That's true. Yeah, they have a wide net here.
Yeah, but this one was Raya and the Last Dragon. It's their next big animated movie, and it comes out March 5th on both theaters and Disney Plus. Other than that, we had previously mentioned last week that they were talking about moving Cruella, Pinocchio, and Peter Pan and Wendy to Disney Plus. That happened to be 2/3 true. Cruella, the Emma Stone movie, is coming to theaters in May still. The other two are going to Disney Plus only. I was thinking about this and like why it would be. What I came to think was the fact that they previously did a live action 101 Dalmatians movie in the 90s and it was successful. Meanwhile, there's been so many adaptations of Peter Pan and Pinocchio over the past 20 years and all of them bomb. So that is what I'm thinking is the reason behind Cruella going to theaters and the other two going to Disney Plus. But
trying to look at when the first 101 Dalmatians came out, the animated one. That was really old, right?
Yeah, the animated one's old. The live action one came out in 96.
Yeah, 96. Yeah, I don't know. People love dogs.
Yeah. But so Cruella's still coming out in May. Jungle Cruise still coming out in July. The Lion King 2, the prequel, or what I don't know what it's actually called, but they confirmed that's still on for theaters. Barry Jenkins directing it. And The Little Mermaid, that is really their last big live action movie that's coming to theaters from like the Disney Renaissance age of like the 80s, 90s. But no release date on that front. As for Disney Plus, Pinocchio, like we said, Robert Zemeckis, Tom Hanks, and Peter Pan and Wendy with Jude Law as Captain Hook. Both those confirmed for Disney Plus. One that I'm oddly excited about is Chip 'n Dale Rescue Rangers. The reasoning behind my excitement is the fact that it's like a Lonely Island movie. Akiva Schaffer's directing it, and it stars John Mulaney and Andy Samberg. It's like a live-action animated hybrid movie. I don't know.
It's like Alvin and the Chipmunks.
Yes, except for the people behind it, I find hilarious. So my expectations are oddly high for this Disney Plus film.
Are Mulaney and Sandberg Chip 'n Dale?
Yes, they are.
Wow.
Okay.
Mulaney is Chip and Sandberg's Dale. And I have to imagine. I mean, those are exactly who they should be. Sandberg should be the wild card, and Mulaney should be the straight man. So no surprise there. Other than that, we are getting a sequel to Enchanted 15 years later. Disenchanted. So Amy Adams is back for that. Hocus Pocus 2, which will probably be huge on Disney Plus, is definitely coming out. Sister Act 3 with Whoopi Goldberg and produced by Tyler Perry is another one that will be coming out. 3 Men and a Baby. We're getting a remake of that with Zac Efron.
Happening.
With Zac Efron, maybe 2 Jewish actors.
2 Jewish actors this
maybe.
time,
Maybe.
Seth Rogen, maybe?
Anything's possible.
That actually would probably be really funny.
And then a Cheaper by the Dozen remake, another one of them, with Gabrielle Union, and this is from the Blackish creator Kenya Barris. So, yeah, a lot of sequels, remakes to older 90s, 80s films. and early 2000s films coming to Disney Plus over the next few years. No release dates on this front. I believe Cheaper by the Dozen and 3 Men and a Baby is 2022, but no firm release dates otherwise. Next up, we've got Pixar, who had one of the stranger announcements, which we'll get to. But on the TV front, we're getting some shorts for a bunch of the old characters from their films in a series called Pixar Popcorn. It starts early 2021. We are getting a short animated series for Doug from the Up movies called Doug Days. They showed a little clip from that, looked amusing. Cars is getting its own series. I'm not sure how long these episodes are. I do not think it's a full-length show. I think that comes out in 2022. And I mean, they've done like planes and crap like that. And then they're doing an actual original live action or original long form, like 20 plus minute show called Win or Lose. It's about a soccer team, and each episode goes from another character's point of view on the team. But that's a 2023 show. That's the only one that I have think could actually be good, since it's fully original and it sounds like they're putting a lot of effort into that one. But on the film front, Luca, which we've talked about before, is coming out in June. Obviously, Soul is coming out on Disney Plus next week. Other than Soul, the rest of these are going to theaters. So Luca's in theaters in June. Turning Red, which sounds super weird, comes out in spring of 22. It's about a girl. I guess she's in middle school or something. And every time she gets too excited, she turns into a giant red panda. So that has the potential to be extremely weird based on your facial expressions. I think you agree. And
that's kind of a weird problem to deal with.
Yeah.
How old is she?
I think she's a middle school, going through puberty or something like that.
Okay.
So it's going to be fucking strange.
Turns into a red panda.
Yeah. In the middle of class, that'll be odd. But it's an original, at least. And then their last one, which is coming out summer 2022, which caught everyone completely by surprise, is Lightyear, not starring Tim Allen. Chris Evans is taking over the role, and it's not about the toy. It's about the real guy who inspired the toy. What the fuck? How strange. Yeah, it's about the real Buzz Lightyear, the fictitious world where Buzz Lightyear was a real, astronaut hero type of guy, and then they made a toy off of this guy.
So what's his?
So it's following the adventures of the real Buzz Lightyear, and it's like a sci-fi action movie.
Isn't that Buzz Lightyear Star Command, basically?
Yeah.
Anyone familiar with that, the TV show?
Yeah, but I guess that was more supposed to be a cartoon, maybe a cartoon series that the real guy. I don't know. Why am I having to justify this?
He can't be a real guy because he's like an intergalactic policeman.
I don't know. Maybe he was a movie star and
I think
did a bunch of big budget movies, and then they turned him into a toy and a TV
the villain,
show.
General Zurg or something?
Zod.
Yeah. Zod?
Zurg.
General Zurg. Yeah.
No, Zurg.
Zod is Superman.
Yeah, it's probably the weird memory that the toy has, because Tim Allen had
Supreme
a whole
Emperor
backstory.
Zurg. Yeah.
Yeah. That's weird. I like that Chris Evans is in it though.
Yeah, I mean, it's cool that Chris Evans is in it, and it's an MCU dude going into Pixar, which is pretty neat. But yeah, people are like, "What the fuck? Tim Allen's not in it."
Yeah.
Which, I mean, I think Tim Allen was fantastic in those movies, but I guess, I mean, it sounds like this is just a completely different type of thing. It's an original, but also not an original at all.
Tim Allen is the toy's voice. Chris Evans is the man's voice.
Exactly. It's his origin story.
This isn't Buzz Lightyear the toy. This is Buzz Lightyear the man.
It's something else. All right, and then
like just going back to the Tim Allen controversy, like
do we think
is like something done as Lightyear, or you think if they make another Toy Story, he's back in, or like,
if they made another Toy Story, he'd be back in. I mean, Tim Allen's biggest controversy was back in the '80s when he was like arrested for cocaine. He's
smuggling cocaine,
and he's still got his fucking ABC show and his ABC Family show and his Toy Story series and plenty of live action movies with Disney.
Yeah. I wasn't sure if he did. He had like a tweet or something from 3 years ago that surfaced.
You missed the canceled Tim Allen hashtag.
Yeah, he didn't do anything outrageous or anything. I mean, he's like, he is a noted, like one of the few conservatives in Hollywood, which kind of makes him a target for a lot of jokes. But I don't think he did anything that would warrant him being removed from the Toy Story series. He's ultimately Buzz Lightyear, as far as I'm concerned.
Okay, so this is really just like probably like a one-off, or
I think so.
Its own thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're probably trying to distance it from him being a toy.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, yeah, it'd be pretty crazy if the toy and the real person had the exact same voice. And he also looks like he's supposed to be like, I don't know, 20-something or 30, not like whatever the fuck Buzz Lightyear the toy was supposed to be. Not have a voice of like a 60-year-old or 50-year-old. All right, but moving on to the MCU, we will run through. There was a lot. My God, this list is long.
It's crazy.
But we'll start with the ones that had trailers. So WandaVision, we got the final trailer that's coming out January 15th.
Same.
What'd y'all think?
Good.
Yeah, it looks good.
Looks good.
Looks original.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks like the more they show, the more it looks like kind of what I thought it was going to be, which is just like fucking Scarlet Witch losing her mind.
Mm-hmm.
And you can see her it like bouncing around between like the different film genres and like things breaking down, like characters, like her like illusion breaking down. I don't know, it looks cool. I'm excited for it.
Maybe it'll be like Lovecraft Country. I thought it was going to be like it'll be all peachy and happy for a little while and then just get really fucked up at the end.
Yeah, that's what it looks like. Like it's going to be like kind of everything's happy and then it's like slowly like reality
goes to shit.
Yeah.
Cool.
I'm excited for
that. Yeah, and then
I think it looks cool.
Next up in March, I believe it's the end of March, we have Falcon and the Winter Soldier. I mean, this one really just looks like a MCU movie that's on TV.
Pretty.
Like doesn't look like there's any high concept like WandaVision, anything creative. It just looks like fucking Winter Soldier or Civil War, like that type of movie, but broken up into a TV show.
Yeah, a little underwhelmed story-wise with it, honestly.
Yeah,
I felt the exact same way. Like,
I missed that line in the trailer that really got you like,
Yeah.
But, yeah.
Maybe we'll get it with the next trailer. I mean, they didn't show any of the new characters or anything like that.
It looked more.
It really
Falcon,
just focused
less Winter Soldier.
Yes.
Yeah. Which I mean, it should be because he's got more of a storyline, but it was a weird trailer. But it looks goddamn beautiful. Looks like you're watching a full length.
Yeah. Yeah, it looked very cinematic looking, but yeah, at the same time, like there was like no story element really in the trailer, and like even like the lines that they chose to show were like not even like funny or anything. It was just weird. Yeah. You know those two are gonna be like cracking jokes and.
Yeah, the only one they really had was the one at the very end where it talks about his like brain, his like robot brain malfunctioning, and
Yeah.
He's just like, I hate you.
I'm sure we'll get a full like story trailer sometime next year. You know.
Oh yeah, we'll probably get it by the end of January. Probably with the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Is when we'll get it. But next up, we've got Loki coming out in May. This trailer was really cool. Doesn't give you too much story, but just shows you that it's going to be pretty odd. And it's got Owen Wilson.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't recognize him at first. I was like, that sounds like Owen Wilson. Oh my god, it's Owen Wilson.
Wow.
It just doesn't look like him.
Loki. Wow.
Wow.
Yeah, this is my most hyped one right now. Just because
Did you ever think you would have said that in the past?
No, it's a shitty character. He's so boring. But it looks. He grew on me towards the end, but like they put him in a good vehicle. And there's the one scene where he's DB Cooper jumping out of the airplane with the money, and I just find that so cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It seems like they're just going to be able to do wacky serial.
He's jumping out of the plane and also going to the Rainbow Bridge at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
What are the odds you think they get like Hemsworth in here for a second?
I could see him being
with long hair because it's
maybe not. Maybe they'll get Idris Elba.
Well, I think he's just fucking completely done.
He's just done
after. I don't think he's too happy.
Infinity War.
Yeah.
Because he mentions Heimdall.
Dude, maybe Carl Urban.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. But yeah, this one is taking place in that alternative timeline, so it's
where Thor
it's
still
the Loki. Sucks. Yeah, it's the Loki. Exactly. It's Taika is not involved yet. It's Loki at the end of Avengers, not the Loki that we know. Not the one that you liked at the end of Ragnarok and Infinity War.
Yeah, but I think he's just gonna play the Loki that you like because
probably
that's what he knows how to do now.
Yeah,
he grew into that character really well, at least for me. Mm-hmm. I didn't like him that much. To start, looks fantastic.
And it looks like he's like there's some like sort of time cops involved.
I don't know what exactly that agency is.
Yeah, the TVA,
like time police authority or whatever.
Yeah. But Loki with a campaign sticker on or campaign pin on at the end, it just looks cool.
Yeah, it was funny.
All right, then we also got a trailer for their animated show, What If, which looks kind of neat.
I thought it was awesome.
Yeah, I think that'll
be cool. Showed a few different of the What If scenarios. T'Challa basically being one who is abducted by Yondu and goes to space. Peggy Carter being Captain Britain or whatever. Doctor Strange.
We got
like
an evil Doctor.
Steve being like the Winter Soldier, like a dead Winter Soldier.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, there was a bunch of cool stuff, and we got some Jeffrey Wright narration. He sounds like he's gonna be cool as the Watcher. But
the animation looked good too, I thought.
Yes, it did.
So yeah, I'm excited for that one just because it's fun stories, and they've that's for the Black Panther abduction. Chadwick filmed.
Yeah, that's Chadwick's voice. Yeah,
that's cool.
Him and Michael Rooker talking to each other. Yeah, and then two other ones coming out at the end of 2021 are Ms. Marvel and Hawkeye. So we got some set stuff from Ms. Marvel, nothing crazy, and then really nothing new to report on Hawkeye. We already gave you the updates last week.
That logo.
Haley Steinfeld is playing Kate Bishop.
Mm-hmm.
That Hawkeye logo I thought it was fake when I saw it.
It looks like a 60s like spy type of thing.
Yeah, that's the logo actually from that comic that I was talking about last week. That's like the exact logo that they used in that comic. So I guess that's kind of what they're going with, like a spy type of show.
Other than that, She-Hulk, we've got confirmation finally that Tatiana Maslany is playing the character. We reported it way back in the day. You heard it here first.
Was that one of our patented breaking newses? Or no?
I don't think that was a breaking news.
But
we did talk about it. Yeah, she did not. She did the whole, this isn't true.
It's completely false. And
Like,
Everyone just got it wrong.
They're not even talking to me. I don't know where this is coming from.
Never heard of Marvel in my life. Hulk, what?
But we also heard that both Mark Ruffalo and Tim Roth will be reprising.
Tim Roth.
So
Bruce
excited.
will be reprising Bruce Banner and the Abomination. So Emil Blonsky. So the first time that Tim Roth has been in it since The Incredible Hulk back in 2008. Anytime they acknowledge that movie, it makes me a little happy.
I love that
because
movie.
it becomes more and more part of the actual series.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like it's only a matter of time now before Liv Tyler eventually appears as Betty Ross.
And they bring back Ed Norton.
That's one thing that won't happen.
Into the whole verse.
They bring back who played her father? What's his name? Oh my god.
I mean, he's been in the last couple
of
movies.
The guy that's been in, like, the Avengers movies.
Yeah,
like...
yeah.
Thunderbolt Ross.
Yeah. No. The actor. Forgot his name.
It's William Hurt, isn't it? No.
Yeah, it's William Hurt. Yeah.
He's been in like 5 movies now.
Bring him back again.
I'm sure he will be.
I'm just saying.
But yeah, the show, just like this last minute, is going to be a comedy. So that'll be interesting. Yeah, exactly. Moon Knight, they further confirm that is still going to be a series. They didn't say anything else about it. I mean, they didn't confirm Oscar Isaac, which is unfortunate. I don't know why.
Wasn't it supposed to be the guy from
seemed pretty
Game of Thrones?
Confirmed. Nah, there's like a lot of in the trades that it was going to be Oscar Isaac. But
he might not have signed yet.
Yeah, that has to be it.
Maybe like close and just like still negotiating.
Maybe they almost got him, then he got Metal Gear Solid.
That would be my guess.
Fuck you guys.
That could be it.
Yeah.
Fuck you guys. Snake Man.
I don't want none of your millions of dollars and your established franchises that last forever.
Yeah.
I don't want a 19-picture deal. Fuck you.
I don't want you to own me for the rest of my life. I want to be free. I want to do what I want to do. I want to have a good time.
I hate Disney World. I hate everything about you. I hated Star Wars. God damn it.
Oh man. And then the last show that we previously reported on, a Nick Fury show, turned out to be Secret Invasion, which is a huge Skrull comic book series, which is going to have both Nick Fury and Ben Mendelsohn returning as Talos, the Skrull. So basically, what happened in the post credits of Spider-Man: Far From Home was leading into this. The fact that the two of them were involved in that post credit, that just seemed like it came out of nowhere.
Yeah, it's Ben Mendelsohn's best role ever, and I love it. So
super pumped for this one. Do we think anyone else is going to be? Is there any other obvious people that would be in this one based on the comic?
Maybe
Corey?
Captain Marvel's friend.
Yeah, I could see. And
I forget what her name was.
Rambeau.
Yeah.
Could see her coming back. And the Shield
Well,
agent.
the Rambeau daughter, is going to be in WandaVision and Captain Marvel 2 as an adult.
Oh,
interesting.
Because since it takes place 20 years after Captain Marvel.
90s.
No, but wasn't she? She was a kid in modern day, wasn't she?
No, that was
early 90s.
It was a blockbuster.
Yeah, fucking Marvels.
And Samuel Jackson had hair.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's all you need to know, that it's the 90s.
De-aging. That was actually.
Yeah, that was pretty much how they let us know.
Yeah.
And we got some 90s songs.
Yeah, it didn't really feel like it, did it?
Huh. And then in regards to shows that we had not heard about at all previously, we are getting Armor Wars with Don Cheadle as War Machine. They described it as what happens when Tony Stark's worst nightmare of somebody getting control of his tech actually happens.
Someone finds one of the
Every-
400 suits at the end of Iron Man 3.
Every
Yeah.
goddamn supporting character in a Marvel movie is getting their own TV show.
I know, it's
That
crazy.
is the moral of the story.
I mean, this is not something that I really want, but
Sounds cool as fuck.
the plot that they're playing at sounds interesting. I mean, I'll definitely watch it. I mean, we're all gonna watch at least an episode.
Yeah,
of
we're
all
gonna
of
watch
these.
all these. Like, well, let's not even pretend
Yeah.
we're not.
We're gonna check out every single one.
They're gonna be short. They're gonna be like 6 episodes each.
Yeah.
And it's not like the Netflix ones where like they'd all drop all at once, and then like you'd back up and just never get to them. It's gonna be a weekly show. It's gonna be easy to watch. Everyone's gonna be talking about them on social media, so you're gonna feel obligated. We're obviously gonna be talking about them. So yeah. And then I had no idea about this character or this series, Ironheart.
Yeah, I heard about this one.
Yeah, I'm not familiar with the character.
Somebody who makes like the most advanced tech since Tony Stark, since the Iron Man outfits, but stars Dominique Thorne as Riri Williams. So I never heard of the character or this, but
It's a comic that came out, I think it was like 5 or 6, maybe 5 years ago or something. I could be wrong, but I remember seeing it years ago. Just a
Okay.
comic, nothing about the movie or TV show.
I imagine she will make her way to the films before not too long.
Mm.
All right, and then the last ones on TV are one that I'm super excited about, the Guardians of the Galaxy Holiday Special.
That's
it's
going to be just like a blatant making fun of the Star Wars one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and it sounds super close
Yeah,
to
probably.
James Gunn's heart. He's writing and directing it at the same time that they do Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3.
That's amazing.
So this one will be coming out holiday 2022. It just has so much potential to be weird and hilarious.
So this will come out before.
And it's a nice stopgap between the fact that Guardians 3 still doesn't come out for another 3 years
Yeah.
or 2.5 years.
Lord.
Yeah. So at least
So yes,
something.
this is coming out before Volume 3. And then they're doing a short series called I Am Groot, which is, I believe, a Baby Groot.
They gotta have the
show.
baby characters, the baby Disney characters.
That's what Disney Plus is known for.
Yeah. Maybe they'll have a Baby Groot and Baby Yoda show. Like they'll
Hey.
do them together. Bring in
Maybe
the
that's who Baby Yoda was calling out for.
Baby
was
Groot. I think the internet would explode. I don't think that we can handle that.
True. All right, and then moving on to the film side of things, which is another monstrous slate. We've got Black Widow confirmed for theaters still in May. So they are definitely focused on theaters when it comes to their big movies, Disney. Shang-Chi and the Ten Rings, which will have the real Mandarin. That'll be coming out in July. And Eternals in November. No real updates on any of these movies. December of 2021, we are getting Spider-Man 3, which while they did not really talk about it at the Investor Day meeting, since it is a Sony property, it is MCU, and there has been huge news over the past week. Alfred Molina, aka Dr. Octopus from Sam Raimi's Spider-Man 2, is confirmed to return. Rumor has it that Tobey Maguire, Kirsten Dunst, Andrew Garfield, Emma Stone will all be reprising their roles from the Sam Raimi trilogy and the Amazing Spider-Man films. There's also some crazy rumors that Charlie Cox will be playing Matt Murdock. He'll be coming in from the Netflix Daredevil show now that Netflix rights to that character have expired. And then I just saw this on Barstool before we started filming.
Breaking news.
But there is some people are reporting that Willem Dafoe is returning
That would be amazing.
He has
as,
to return.
as
He
Norman
has to.
Osborn,
Something of a scientist myself.
What about
which we would all be super fucking happy for.
Then
And if they
gotta
can get
bring back
Franco,
James-
if they can
yeah.
get Franco back too, even better.
Franco would do it. He would definitely.
Of course,
do it.
Franco would do it.
Yeah.
Franco,
Franco would do it.
Franco would do like a college art project if
Yeah.
you went and asked them to do it.
Yeah.
He will do anything.
And he had so
We
much
just
fun.
need,
He had so much fun in the third movie. Like he was the best part of that movie.
I
Yeah,
think he was the only one having fun in that movie.
he thought it was so good.
Yeah.
No, Tobey Maguire had a great time
That's
dancing.
true,
Yeah, he did.
Dance. They got to get Thomas Hayden Church back.
Yeah.
He's got his daughter. She's
It
sick.
seemed this is
gotta-
the way to get the Sinister Six back, to actually do it in a natural way. I mean, we got Michael Keaton as Vulture. We've got Doc Ock, Alfred Molina. Who else? We can bring. They could do
I hope they bring in
Scorpion.
Nacho. Yeah.
They could do Nacho from Better Call Saul as Scorpion. They can do Bokeem Woodbine as Shocker. They can do.
Topher Grace as
Dead
Venom.
as fuck, though.
They have to bring
You already
back.
had Defoe, didn't you? Didn't you say Wilhelm Defoe?
Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't think he was a big Sinister Six guy.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
It was Doc Ock was like the leader.
Yeah, Doc Ock.
You got to bring back Jake Gyllenhaal as Mysterio.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He totally could have faked his death. The guy's all about faking shit.
I still think they gotta find an actor that looks something like him and bring him back in from another universe.
Yeah, bring him back from another universe or something.
Kind of looks like Jake Gyllenhaal, but it's not.
It would have been Tobey Maguire if it was the
Yeah.
90s.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Tobey Maguire will play Mysterio.
But yeah, this is a live-action Spider-Verse that we are getting.
Fucking Bruce Campbell. Bring him back. Have him be Mysterio, since they said he was Mysterio the whole time.
I mean, Sam Raimi is directing it, so, right?
No, he's not.
Oh, he's not?
He's directing Doctor Strange
No,
too,
Doctor Strange.
The
too.
Doctor Strange movie.
which is tying into this movie.
Right.
WandaVision and Spider-Man 3 tie into Doctor Strange too. John
So-
Watts, who directed the last two Spider-Man movies, is directing this one.
So it's probably safe to say that we'll probably get Wanda Maximoff and Doctor Strange probably in the Spider-Man movie as well.
We're getting Doctor Strange. That's been confirmed already.
Yeah.
Nothing about Wanda. At least.
Most likely, I would imagine Strange is the one that's allowing this like multiverse scenario.
And Strange will be the mentor. They've
Yeah.
clearly shown that he needs a mentor in each movie,
Mhm.
whether it is Tony in Homecoming, Mysterio or Happy in Far From Home, and now it will likely be Doctor
Tobey
Strange
Maguire.
Yeah,
and Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield.
yeah, that'd be amazing.
It's just gonna be everything Andrew Garfield does. Don't do that. That's
Yeah.
not successful. Follow Toby,
He
except
was-
for the dancing.
He was good. I liked Andrew Garfield a lot.
So bad.
Yeah, I thought he was terrible.
He was-
Thought he was like a creepy stalker.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's Spider-Man 3.
It's
Corey,
gonna be
since-
a crazy movie.
Yeah, yes, it is. Since you just brought up Sam Raimi, next up after Spider-Man 3 is Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. That comes out March 2022. They've confirmed Rachel McAdams is coming back, along with Chiwetel Ejiofor, Benedict Wong,
Yes.
obviously Benedict Cumberbatch. Where is it? Benedict Wong? Are there two Benedicts?
Benedict Wong, I think. I think that's his. Yeah, I think that's it.
How are there? Wow,
I'm
two
checking this.
Benedict. It is
I don't
two
know,
Benedicts in the same
Oh my
movie.
Lord.
But,
How did I never noticed that? No.
How
That's
can they
crazy.
do that?
I never even knew one Benedict until the Benedict Cumberbatch came along. Now I know two.
Cumberbatch is gonna have to change his name.
And then Elizabeth Olsen will be in it as well.
Nice.
And then Thor: Love and Thunder actually got pushed back a couple months. I believe it was supposed to open in February. It is now opening in May, which is good. It'll be after all the multiverse stuff is completely played out between WandaVision, Spider-Man, and Doctor Strange, and be some semblance of what the order was originally supposed to be.
Because
But
they had to buy more time to get Christian Bale to put some weight on.
As Gore the God Butcher.
Yeah, that character, I was looking, because I'm not really that familiar with him, but I was looking up the character. He's jacked. So Christian Bale is definitely going to be, changing his body again. And he's going to probably be fucking massive for this movie.
Yeah.
Have we seen a jacked Christian Bale in a while?
Batman Begins was I think that was it.
He was bigger for Dark Knight, though, wasn't he?
He was
He didn't
chiseled.
gain nearly as much.
No, he was
as-
leaner.
He was cut. Batman Begins, he was like a
Yeah.
truck. He was meaty.
Yeah, he's done a lot of thin roles. Well, Vice, he was fat.
Yeah.
I see a
American
picture of
Hustle,
Gore-
he
American
was
Hustle,
fat.
he's fat.
I see a picture of Gore where he's really thin, so we might get
Interesting.
Machinist Christian.
And then the
No.
fighter rescued Dawn, and the machinist, he was super thin.
Mm-hmm.
That should be a lot of fun though.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that has taken Black Panther 2's slot for May 2022, and Black Panther 2 has moved into Captain Marvel 2's slot of July 2022. A big discussion after Chadwick Boseman died that we had and a lot of the world had was what they were going to do. Well, they are still doing it. It is still called Black Panther 2. They are not recasting T'Challa, so we don't have to worry about that. As far as they've said, it's going to be taking place around the many characters that we met in Wakanda in Black Panther. I have to imagine they're just going to change the title of the movie to Wakanda, because I don't see how you name a movie Black Panther 2 if Black Panther's not in it, unless you're turning somebody into Black Panther in the movie.
Yeah, the search for Black Panther.
Yeah,
I mean, there were other people that take on the role as Black Panther, so they could.
Yeah, I mean, everyone had talked about
Shuri.
Shuri, but Shuri is now tweeting about anti-vaxxing on Twitter and had to apologize last week.
Oh boy.
And Don Cheadle was like fucking ripping her on Twitter. So I don't know if they're going to want to put their faith in her. I think you go with like Nakia
Michael B.
or Okoye.
Okoye would
or-
be good.
Or if they can figure out a way, just do the three of them.
Yeah.
So you don't have to rely on just one person. But I'd totally be cool with any of those three getting it. But yeah, Ryan Coogler's back, and it's in July 2022. In November 2022, we are getting Captain Marvel 2. They've confirmed Ms. Marvel will be appearing in that as well. So
that won't be confusing.
Present day. Yeah, I know, exactly. Not much other than that. Nia DaCosta, who directed the upcoming Candyman, confirmed to do it. And that's really that there. As far as some other movies, Ant-Man and the Wasp, Quantumania is the title for Ant-Man 3. Super kind of pulpy, cheesy title, which I kind of dig. The logo is pretty cool too. But Catherine Newton is going to be playing Cassie Lang in the movie. Jonathan Majors will be playing Kang the Conqueror, as we previously talked about. Michelle Pfeiffer, Michael Douglas, Evangeline Lilly, and Paul Rudd all returning. Peyton Reed returning to direct. It looks like this one will be a 2023 release. And then they confirmed Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 for 2023. So those are all the ones that we know good amount of info for. They reiterated the fact that Mahershala Ali is going to be playing Blade in a Blade movie. I would have to imagine that will be a 2023 release as well. And then the big announcement is that the Fantastic Four is officially being rebooted with John Watts directing. So he's moving from the Spider-Man home trilogy to Fantastic Four.
How do you think Sony feels about that?
Probably not the greatest.
Yeah, definitely not.
Because there definitely is going to be a Spider-Man 4 that probably comes out right around the time of Fantastic Four as well.
Yeah.
Because they've been pretty consistent with like 2 or 3 years between movies. So if Spider-Man 3 comes out in 2021, I think they'd want to put out Spider-Man 4 in 2023.
Yeah.
Do you think this is a jab for when they tried to take Spider-Man back? And Disney's like,
wouldn't surprise me.
Look what we can do to you.
Yeah, we can destroy you.
This I'm so excited for because it's gonna be good. I feel it.
Yeah, I mean it should.
Done right. Fine.
Feige's on a roll. But yeah, we didn't get any casting announcements for it or anything like that. But the fact that
I bet they're still
John Krasinski
got a ways off before they finalize that cast.
Yeah.
But the fact that they're working on it, and I imagine we're going to get some big announcements at Comic-Con.
When's Comic-Con?
July.
Still scheduled for July.
Yeah.
There's no D23 this year due to the pandemic.
This kind of felt like D23.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, better actually.
D23 moved to next year. That's because D23 this year was last year was right after that big Comic-Con one, so they couldn't announce nearly as much exciting stuff. So I think this year, assuming Comic-Con happens in a big way, that Marvel will have a huge presence.
Between this and Fandom, I feel like I've just been like beaten to death with awesome comic book news.
Yeah, exactly.
Whoa.
But the only
such a weird venue for all this to drop to, like an investors call.
Yeah,
they're basically saying, "Hey guys, we're gonna fucking run pop culture for the next few years. Your money's well spent.
Yeah.
Stocks are gonna go up,
Hey,
and you made the right choice."
Yeah, that HBO Max announcement was cute and all, but here's what we have coming.
Yeah.
They had to put some faith, in the investors. That makes sense.
But the only things they did not announce that were notable were we did not get anything about Deadpool 3. So my expectations are that will be a Comic-Con announcement. And we did not get anything about X-Men. But we all knew X-Men was going to be the one that would take the longest to come about.
Yeah, I would imagine if they just got the director for Fantastic Four, then it's probably on to X-Men.
Yeah.
I don't think there's anything else extraneous that they would put out, so they got everything else squared away. They'll probably devote most of their resources to figuring out X-Men, getting that right.
Yep. But yeah, that was Disney's Investor Day, and holy shit, that was a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
So, we have a lot to look forward to.
Casually join us on this call on a Thursday night.
For 4 hours.
For 4 hours. Well, we bombard you with information.
And there was a lot of stuff they showed that unless you were like an official investor, like you couldn't actually see. Like they showed some trailers and stuff for movies, and we didn't get to see them.
Fuck.
I'm surprised those haven't leaked or anything.
Yeah.
Well, it's all rich people. They don't give a shit.
One last announcement that I actually skipped over. The new Disney animated movie, outside of Raya and the Last Dragon, comes out next November. Lin-Manuel Miranda is doing the music. He's basically Disney's music guy now. Called Encanto. It takes place at like a magical house in Colombia or something like that. I'm sure he'll make a ton of money.
For sure. It's a fucking Disney movie.
Yeah. So yeah, that's Disney.
Crazy.
That
so much information
was easily our longest news segment ever. That might have been our longest segment ever.
I think so.
Yeah.
But let's move on to what we watched over this past week. We're gonna run through this fairly quickly. Our recommendations. Corey?
Yeah, I felt like nostalgic this week, so I wanted to watch a good Western, so I watched Tombstone with the ridiculous cast of Kurt Russell, Val Kilmer, Sam Elliott, which he has not aged. He looks just as old as he does now. Bill Paxton, Powers Booth, Michael Biehn, Charlton Heston. I'm missing one other person. Thomas Hayden Church.
Damn. Man.
So the cast is crazy. It's a good movie. I haven't seen it in a really long time, and I was going through Amazon Prime and I saw it and I was like, oh. So I jumped in the saddle per se for this one, and it
good one.
It was a really good movie. I like how this movie has a lot of it goes back to like a lot of like practical effects because it's 1993, so they didn't really use like any special effects at all. They blew stuff up, you could tell that a lot of the actors did a lot of their own stunts. It was just fun. It was just a fun movie. Good good shooting.
How a Western should be shot.
Yeah, it had a very you could tell that they were trying to channel like old like Clint Eastwood, movies, or like movies from the 60s, like Westerns. So yeah, I mean, it's a fun movie. If you guys haven't seen it, I definitely check it out. It holds up really well.
Cool. It's on Amazon Prime?
Yeah.
I might check that out. I haven't seen it.
It's good. But yeah, that's my pick.
All right. Doug, what did you watch?
I watched a little stand-up.
Did you suddenly become
funny bone tickled? And
did you suddenly become like a Southern person?
Stand up.
I watch some stand up.
A little stand up.
Put a little
Some of that
down on the
comedy.
TV.
Florida, man.
Yeah, it's the Florida coming through. I wish I could pronounce this person's name, but Iliza Shlesinger
I think it's
has Schlesinger.
Schlesinger, right?
I've never heard anyone pronounce her name, but discovered her a couple of her stand-ups. I watched Elder Millennial, and then right after that, Unveiled. I think it's her 2018, 2019 special. Really funny. Never heard anything she ever did before, but I pretty much laughed the entire time. So I know people don't generally have like a thing about female comics, but I thought she was good. She was funny, super animated, and probably laughed the whole time. So if you haven't seen her stuff, I'd definitely recommend checking it out. 2 additional specials and a sketch show, I think, as of 2020. So Netflix seems to like her. But yeah, good stuff. Lots of voices, super animated, good jokes.
Cool.
Have you guys ever watched anything from
I've
this person?
seen her. I've seen her name before, but I've never actually seen her. I just had to look her up. Definitely, have never seen her in anything. But
you guys should just like
if you recommend,
give it
I'll
a shot.
have to check it out.
Yeah, she's good. She's good. She's funny.
Good. I could use some comedy specials. I've kind of watched all the ones that I had any interest in.
Cool. Well, I can't wait to hear next week.
Oh, you're putting a time limit on me?
I was completely.
How you're completely wrong? Is that what you said?
Yeah, no. By next week, I hope you.
You're cutting out. For me, at
What's
least.
that?
Yeah, I can't hear him either.
Doug's losing
You're cutting
connection.
out.
The internet's killing his punchline.
All right. Well, it's fine. We'll move on to JP.
Yeah, it's Christmas time in the old household, so we watched Elf. I'm not a huge fan of this movie, but my wife absolutely loves it. So it was on AMC, and we caught like the last 3/4 of it, and then watched it again, and caught the entire movie again. So I watched it like 1.75 times. I don't like it anymore after watching it almost twice.
I'm just thinking about how when we get to our segment about Christmas movies you don't like, we could have just had you run through all of them.
Yeah, I'm not a really holly jolly person. Christmas is fine, but yeah, I'm not a huge fan of the subject matter. But yeah, I mean, I had a little bit more respect for this movie because I watched the Netflix series about how it was made and all that kind of stuff. Favreau coming in as not really a first-time director, I don't think, but he was a relatively unknown director at that time, and he had a really grand vision for it, and apparently he knocked it out of the park because people absolutely love this movie, and every year it comes around, people really want to watch it. So they did a really good job with that.
Did you hear how him and Will Ferrell didn't get along, and James Caan said that's the only reason we haven't gotten a sequel?
They did not mention that at all, because I remember hearing that, but they don't mention it at all in the thing that I was watching.
Yeah, James Caan said that earlier this year somewhere.
Yeah.
He's like, I wanted to get that sequel money.
See, that's funny because the one thing is everyone was so fucking terrified of Khan on the set. And I think he wanted to be called
Sonny Corleone.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he had like this reputation for being shitty on sets. And the first thing he's like, I want you to call me like Cool Jimmy or something like that. Something really fucking weird. And then he made fun of the director of photography for having a ring light on his camera. And I guess he was okay to work with because no one really had a ton of bad stuff to say about him. But he's funny in that movie. I mean, Sonny Corleone is fucking terrifying. But it's a very typical Christmas movie that spawned the awful thing that is Zooey Deschanel's singing career.
Or career.
Or career, yeah. Not a fan, except for Hitchhiker's Guide. She was okay in that.
One day we're just going to have a full feature presentation of things you don't like.
Yeah, I mean, we can
Not
also
even
have,
not even limiting it to Christmas.
we can have like a full feature presentation of things I like. There's a lot of those as well, but I suppose me ripping on shit's more funny. But yeah, it's a Christmas movie. There are definitely Christmas movies I'd rather watch over this. We'll get to it. But that was me.
All right. And we'll get more to Christmas movies in a little bit. But as for myself, I watched the film Okja on Netflix, directed by Bong Joon-ho. It was the film he made before Parasite. Really cool. Very eclectic cast. Tilda Swinton, Paul Dano, Jake Gyllenhaal in like his most fucked up role ever. Absolutely hilarious. Giancarlo Esposito, Stephen Yeun from Walking Dead, Lily Collins. But basically, the plot of the film is that Tilda Swinton's company is making these genetic super pigs that are supposed to be super healthy and like good for the environment, like sustainable, all those sorts of things. But they take like 15 years and 10 years in order to get to their like full size and everything like that. So basically, during those 10 years, they're all the different pigs are on various farms throughout the world, and this movie follows a girl and her relationship with the pig, and they're buddies, but then she realizes that they're gonna obviously kill the pig and everything like that, and it deals with Paul Dano, and he's leading like a team of environmental activists who are or animal activists who are trying to protect all these pigs and take down this company. I mean, if you've seen Parasite, Snowpiercer, any of Boon Joon-ho's movies, you know they're pretty far out there, but very engaging. This is just another one of them. So I definitely recommend you guys take a look into this one. It came out on Netflix, I believe, back in 2017. Played at the Cannes Film Festival, everything like that. Yeah, it was another good one from him. I got to get through the rest of his filmography from like pre Snowpiercer days, like his ones that are like all like Korean film.
Yeah,
versus the ones with like the American actors and stuff like that.
I've heard like a lot of his films are really, really good. His older stuff.
But yeah, let's get right into Mandalorian. So this past week was episode 7 of season 2. I know we're all cut up on there. What was this one called? The something?
Oh, I'm not
sure.
sure.
I don't remember.
I don't remember what
JB, is your dog now? I don't know what
the one before it was the tragedy, but I don't remember what this one's.
The Believer? No, that sounds like Shrek.
JP, what was the name of this week's episode of Mando?
Hey JP, what was Mando called? The newest episode.
I think it was The Believer.
It was The Believer? Oh, I thought that sounded like a Shrek song.
Yeah,
yeah, it was The Believer.
Nice.
There you go.
Nailed it. But yeah, it was the one with Bill Burr. Really, when it comes to any episode of The Mandalorian, you just have to say the one with one actor.
It's like an episode of Friends.
Exactly. But yeah, we had talked a little bit about it earlier. Bill Burr with that nice dramatic turn when they get into the mess hall and are dealing with the dude from Batman Begins, Joe Chill.
Oh fuck! Really? Was that him?
Is that?
Yeah.
I didn't even notice that.
Yeah, I didn't notice that either.
I noticed.
He looks
it, but I forgot his name.
older.
He looks a little more healthy too.
Yeah.
That's true. Less homeless.
Yeah. Slightly less homeless.
That was such a good scene, though.
Yeah, it was.
That mess hall scene. I thought the dialogue was great. One of the better dialogue. One of the better written dialogue, I think, of the entire show. Was this episode? And that scene was awesome. It was so intense, and I thought Bill Burr just like acted the shit out of it, where you could just like see him like slowly like breaking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're like, he's gonna shoot this guy.
The one.
Yeah, the build-up was good.
It was. The build-up was good. The one thing that I really liked was seeing Pedro Pascal, you know, obviously like mask off or the helmet off.
Actually seeing him.
But he didn't really speak that entire scene. Like, it was just a lot of like him emoting to like Bill Burr and to Joe Chill, for, you know, I forgot the actor's name, but you know, that whole scene, just him like, you know, staring, emoting to what was going on, and it just added to, you know, the intensity of the confrontation, the conversation too.
I read something about that, is when you watch him acting without the helmet on, he moves his face exactly like someone that would have a helmet on. So every time someone's talking, he turns his whole face out of frame to look at the person talking, turns his face that way.
That's good.
Down for things. It's so perfect in every way. I went back and I watched it, and he nails it.
That makes so much sense since he has the helmet on 99% of his life.
Yeah.
When he
I mean, I don't know why he bothers. Why the fuck does he have a mustache?
Because he's got to have a goddamn mustache. He wants to have one.
Who's seeing it? No
it's
one.
It's for him.
Himself,
it's for him.
Okay.
Yeah, he
For
takes his helmet off at night and goes, "Hey, mustache guy."
Love the mustache.
Dude, you look great.
He's got a. I mean, look at Boba Fett. I mean, he's got the bald head. I mean, he hasn't had the costume for a very long time, but he's not gonna let his hair grow out. He's gonna keep shaving his head because he likes how he looks.
You can't have long hair as a Mandalorian.
Yeah, I feel like that would be. You can't shoot people. You know, hair would get.
You have like a modified bowl cut, so you can have a bowl cut down to here. But if it goes beyond the helmet line,
I would not have expected Bill Burr's character to be the one who makes Din kind of realize the hypocrisy and like the rules and how they can be bent and broken so easily.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know if it's necessarily hypocrisy though, but it's like what you're willing to do to save someone.
No, but like the whole, is it supposed to be like, is the rule that you're just supposed to wear a helmet all the time, or is the rule that people just can't see your face? Like, what is it? Like that sort of thing. Maybe hypocrisy wasn't the right word, but the looseness of the rules.
There was still some of that because he talks about, you know, perspective and how the people on Alderaan and, you know,
yeah,
the Empire, the people of this planet don't care if you're Empire or you're New Republic. They both see you as just being assholes.
You're an invader or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's definitely a cool perspective, for sure.
Those aliens were weird.
Yeah.
The weird bombing aliens.
Oh, yeah. Those were weird.
I mean, the second half of the episode did so much more for me. Just anytime there's a rare scene of just like action, like on this show where there's no action, it's just like talking. It really just pulls me in, and like the writing, they nailed it.
Yeah.
Yeah. They did a great job. I like the beginning. I like Boba Fett's armor. It's looking fresh.
Yeah, it's looking a lot better.
You got it all waxed.
Got that paint job
cleaned up.
Love it. Still got the dent in it too.
Yeah, he didn't want to get rid of that.
Man, I like that.
He's
But,
still.
and then the fucking boom.
Yeah, the bomb.
The seismic charge, man.
And the Office Space.
Yeah.
the TPS
Reference.
reports.
Oh yeah, that was.
But any predictions for the finale this week?
Got to go save Grogu.
Dude,
Got to get him.
Bo-Katan's coming
Yeah.
back, I'm sure, because she's gonna make.
Yeah.
They're gonna kill Boba Fett because fucking 2020.
I
love him so much.
I wonder if Ahsoka's gonna show up. I wonder.
Boba's gonna get COVID.
Yeah, probably.
Do you think they'll bring Ahsoka back for the season finale, or do you think
I don't
she's?
think so.
I don't
That's
think
it.
so.
They might bring in another Jedi though.
Yeah.
Like we talked about last week. They might tease
Yeah.
it at the very end.
That's what I think they're gonna do for sure. Is like, be cool if like a purple lightsaber just
Oh.
came out.
Yo, imagine they got
With
Sam
like
Jackson
a
for
robotic
this shit.
hand.
Now, what about Moff Gideon? Do you think that he's gonna die, or do you think they're gonna continue?
They've
Like,
talked about
taking
him, or Giancarlo Esposito has basically been like, my arc's going for another couple seasons.
Yeah, I'm here whether you want me or not.
Yeah.
Okay, good. No,
he'll be
because
back.
I mean, he's great and everything, but I really like, as they're showing more and more of him, as the season has gone on. I'm like really digging the character a lot.
Yeah, there were two other things from this episode I noticed and I loved. First of all, the end where Mando verbatim reads back Moff Gideon's speech to him was fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Because that was what Moff Gideon said to Mando about the child. So that was great. And then Boba Fett, when he says, I have a fairly recognizable face, because he's a fucking clone.
Yeah.
And all
Yeah,
the
that
I
was
troopers
good.
were
I
clones.
never caught that.
Yeah.
That's
I thought it
good.
was the helmet at first, but I'm thinking about it, I'm like, he looks exactly like all the other fucking clones.
Yeah.
That
They
was
would
a
be
good
like,
one.
I know you.
Go back and visit Tanwi.
Even though
whatever
his
that
face
planet
looks
was.
like a ball sack now, because it's just fucking destroyed. And
he does look like shit.
But I think he's still fairly recognizable.
Yeah.
They'd walk in and they'd be like, Dad, Ton Wee's here.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a great episode. This Friday
Yeah.
should be fucking awful. Do you think it's gonna be an hour?
I think it has to be.
I think
It has to be, yeah.
the season finale of season 1 was the longest episode of the show, right?
Yeah. It
Or was the season 2 premiere the longest episode?
Season 2 premiere was an hour long.
Well, those were the 2 longest episodes, so I would have to think this will be in that ballpark.
like a little bit over. Was it over
of
an
being
hour?
like 50. It'll be 50 something minutes, is my guess.
Yeah. Trying
Which
to see what the
I will-
time was.
Definitely take.
Way to betray me, Wikipedia.
But they're not.
Yeah.
Oh, and who's directing the episode? Have they said? Do we know who's directing it?
I haven't seen anything.
I don't know.
I think it's a repeat director because I believe they only announced 7 directors this season. So maybe it's Favreau doing the finale.
I was gonna say, how many did Filoni do? 1.
Yeah, they all did
I guess
one so far.
I could see
Robert
him.
Rodriguez did
Yeah.
the Boba one, which was
Yeah,
pretty amazing.
where Boba turned into like El Mariachi.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With his dad bod. He's still
And that was a
sporting the dad
fill-in
bod.
too. He wasn't supposed to. They have not said who's directing it.
Yeah, I can't find it.
Did you know Carl Weathers directed episode 12?
Yeah,
I had no idea.
I think it was like his deal to be on the show would be he'd get to direct an episode in season 2.
That's great.
Because apparently he likes directing.
Good for him.
Yeah, he's got to fucking get that director money so he can make a stew.
You got to make that stew. You got a stew going, baby.
All right, let's move on to our feature presentation, which, as we said, will cover Christmas movies. So it's going to be a 2-part deal. We're going to go through our favorite Christmas films, each of us. We've got 1 or 2 each, and then we'll get into movies that one movie each that we either think is not a Christmas movie, or one that we just don't like. But I thought it was pretty crazy. None of us put Home Alone on here. I just didn't put it on here because I wanted to talk about 2 other ones.
Mm-hmm.
But
I watched it.
Yeah, that's kind of what happened with me.
yeah, I mean, we all Home Alone's awesome. It's a great movie.
Yeah, it's a good movie. Very Christmassy.
But
Down to like the paint on the house.
all the sets too.
Down-
On the house.
down to the paint cans to the face.
The show I watched about Home Alone, all the sets in the house are green and red. Because they had to fabricate them all. Everything in that house is green and red. The rugs, the walls, the
Wow.
paint on the walls, green and red. It's just fucking Christmas all over the place.
All right, Corey, let's get into your film, which I know JP is not a fan of, and So you two have your debate right now about this one.
Yeah, I mean, this has just always been one of my favorites. One of my favorite Christmas movies. I like Chevy Chase in it. I like the whole cast. I don't feel as strongly as JP does about the casting choices. I think a lot of it is because this is the first vacation movie I saw when I was younger. So I see these actors first as, Rusty, as whatever her name is, the daughter. And so this is the movie I always gravitate to when I feel like a vacation movie, and especially around Christmas time. But I just love the insanity of this movie. Like, it is off the wall crazy. And it's incredibly vulgar. I was thinking about this the other day. I don't know how or why I was allowed to see this at the young age that I was, because there's nudity. Chevy Chase is saying fuck like a bunch of times in it. You know, there's a lot of other swear words and just like questionable jokes and stuff. A lot of them just went over my head at the time. Yeah, and I mean, I'm not a big fan of Christmas movies, but this one, just because of all the shit that goes wrong throughout the 24 hours that this movie takes place, or 48 hours, I think it's great. So,
yeah. My gripe is not with the casting in this movie, because it's not a vacation movie unless Rusty and Audrey are two completely different human beings. And in the last one, their daughter is clearly Spanish, and they're not, which is fucking hilarious. They completely forgot how to write the characters. Like, Clark is incredibly vulgar, like you said, and he makes these weird fucking jokes that don't feel like a vacation movie to me. And I don't give a shit about Marlo and whatever the fuck the neighbors
are. Yeah, they were weird. I never liked them.
For me, I don't think a single joke in this movie hits. Like, I can just sit here and watch this movie and just be like, I don't give a fuck about the jokes that you're making, because they're sort of rehashed from the old movies, which I don't mind, because they did it in the fourth one, and I like that. They did it in a way that's sort of poking fun at it, but they just fucking suck. It's just, I don't know. This movie just puts a fucking damper on my Christmas. Like, I'll be like, I'll get the hot chocolate going on, my Santa hat on, and I see this movie, and I fucking pour out my hot chocolate, take the Santa hat off, stomp on it, and I run upstairs. I watch a better movie.
Chevy Chase's rant when he gets his Jolly of the Month Club check is the best. He's slowly going insane from, the beginning of the movie, but that's where he breaks. I love that. I think it's hilarious.
I don't know. I just, every joke falls flat for me. Yeah, dude, I fucking.
Yeah, so this is like the first movie that I go to when I think of Christmas. It's definitely one of the movies that I always watch. One of the select few Christmas movies that I gravitate to around this time of year. So,
I'll have you know that my wife heard me talking shit about this movie, and she just texted me that she'll kill me.
My brother will probably fight you if he ever hears that.
Oh, please. I mean, I welcome it. I don't like this movie. I will.
You just want to fight Chris, don't you?
I will. Sure, let's go.
He will be so offended.
I'll have open discussions about how much I hate this movie. Doesn't mean it's a bad movie. Just, I fucking hate this movie.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
I said I'd watch it, but I did not. I got stuck in a big mouth hole over this past week, and
wait, you've never seen it?
Sorry. No.
I usually watch it at least twice, so I'll watch it with you.
It's been on my watch list for years. I'll get to it eventually. I'll try to do that and It's a Wonderful Life before Christmas this year. Those are the two Christmas movies I've never seen.
It's good.
That I have to see.
Completely different vibes.
Very, very.
That's what I get. Based on this conversation, that's exactly what I'm getting.
It's a Wonderful Life is one of the most depressing fucking movies in the world.
It is.
It's so sad.
All right.
It's not a Wonderful Life.
Yeah.
No, it's not.
I like Pete Davidson talking about it last week. He's like, "What?" He's like, "I'm a suicidal guy. Why wouldn't you think I'd be able to play the character or whatever?" Because he's doing like a table read of it. He's like, "It's not like I'm remaking the movie. Why are you getting so angry?" All right, Doug, what did you got?
I put down, and it's not necessarily my favorite Christmas movie, but it's just a Christmas movie that comes to mind a lot, and I guess plays on TV a lot, and it's the Santa Claus. Claus with a CLUSE.
So this is the Tim Allen 1994 film.
Tim Allen 1994. It's Tim Allen is like in the height of his career.
Ho.
Yeah, he's the tool man.
Tim
He's
the Tool Man
also Is he Buzz Lightyear at this point or no?
The next year he would be
next
Buzz
year.
Lightyear.
Oh, okay.
He probably recorded.
Next year.
He probably recorded it around this time.
Yeah, he knew that Toy Story was going to be a hit
Oh yeah.
once he recorded those lines. It's just kind of like a fun, weird movie. I mean, it's kind of like Endgame where they just like kill the.
It's kind of like Endgame. Wait, I need to hear this.
Because you're like, all right, cool. I'm going to see a movie about Santa Claus, and they fucking kill him like pretty early on.
So Tim Allen's Thor. He's chopping off Santa Claus's head.
I can see that.
Yeah,
Actually.
and
That makes sense.
It's like weird movie in that like the person that kills Santa Claus and puts on the jacket like becomes the new Santa Claus. It's kind of like a fucking.
It's a curse.
Yeah,
Kind of
it's
like
not
a
a great-
dark.
It's not a great deal.
It's kind of like a dark movie, and like you wonder like if other people knew that you could kill Santa Claus and put on the coat, and then like you're Santa Claus.
So
Oh,
It could be kind of like
dude,
like
the
really
Purge
dark.
Christmas Eve, where they all try to kill Santa Claus.
Like somebody wants to become Santa to destroy Christmas.
That would be fucking awesome.
Ooh, we
Well,
got,
that-
we
wasn't
got
that,
an
like-
idea. That was probably
Yeah,
Santa
you-
Claus 3.
Wait,
None of
no,
us saw it.
I think I've seen bits of it. Does it exist?
It's the one with
Yeah.
Martin Short.
Yes, I've
Yeah,
seen bits
I
of
think
it.
that's
We've
the.
watched
I
it
think that's what
once.
he's trying to do. Maybe
God damn
I
it.
forget what that one's called.
He's Jack Frost.
We're
and
like
he tries to-
15 years too late, or 10 years.
It's not even possible to come up with an original idea. Everyone's done everything.
Yeah.
But the Purge hasn't been done. A Purge Santa Claus, so I think that could be a good way to go.
Every Christmas Eve, it's open reign to try and kill Santa while he delivers gifts, and if you do it, you become Santa.
It's a terrible deal for Santa.
I read somewhere that the original story was that Tim Allen was like, I guess it's like a stand your ground state or something, but like that he like shoots Santa Claus because he thinks he's breaking into the house.
I mean,
And they were like, no, we cannot do that.
how does he kill him in that?
He falls off the
He
roof.
falls off
He
the roof.
startles him, yeah, and he
Yeah.
like falls off the roof and
So
dies.
it's just like manslaughter.
What kind of charms or drugs do they give the parents where they like don't they just accept that there's a Santa Claus or don't understand that there's a Santa Claus? Like, wouldn't they be like, I didn't buy these presents?
It's all David Krumholtz. He's behind all of this in this movie. He's the brains of the operation. He's Bernard.
He's the little
He's
Jewish
the head,
elf.
the head Jewish elf.
I just assume parents get shit faced on Christmas Eve and then put the presents under there.
They're
and
like,
wake up the next
we put
morning
these
with a
presents
hangover.
down,
Like,
right?
I guess I
Piece of
got
shit.
this.
gives a shit
Yeah.
who gave it to him.
Who ate the cookies? I don't know. I guess I did.
I didn't remember getting a PS5. You're funny, I guess you did.
Let me go check my bank statement.
Yeah, that's something I've been thinking about when I watch these movies too, Murph. Is like
Yeah,
presents
it's like you
just
don't
show
believe
up
in
the
Santa
house, and everyone's
Claus,
like, "No,
but
Santa Claus isn't real. Fuck
Santa
you."
Santa sits on like the windows and he just like shoots a dart like into the bedroom, tranks the parents.
For Tim Allen's wife in this movie, this must be the most horrifying experience on earth because you see your husband getting fat and or your ex-husband getting fat and he's disappearing and he's doing all these. The beard grows and he shaves it, it comes back. And
Doesn't Judge Reinhold
it's a
play
horrifying.
Isn't Judge
Judge-
Reinhold? Doesn't he play
Judge
the employment?
Reinhold, yeah, and he didn't get the Oscar Mayer Wiener whistle
that's the
when he was a
best scene
kid.
of this
Oh
movie
my-
when
he was-
gets
yes.
it at the end.
And he was
That's
really
good.
upset about it.
Yeah.
That scene
Yeah.
melts my goddamn heart. every
It is a
time I
good
see it.
scene.
Oh, it's so good. Love Judge Reinhold.
He went from masturbating to Phoebe Cates to not getting the Oscar Mayer Weenie whistle.
Yeah.
All in 10 years.
That was only 10 years.
Nah, it was probably 14 years.
Okay.
13 years. I think Fast Times was 80 or 81. He went from Beverly Hills Cop to Santa Claus in exactly 10 years. All right, and Doug, your second film?
Nah, I'm just gonna go with the Santa Claus. There is no second film. Santa Claus and then Santa Claus again.
Stop fucking
You've just been
doing
fucking audible,
these-
man.
Audibling on me. You're making me look bad. It's not the... All right,
Murph,
Doug,
you gotta prepare harder for these.
no, fuck you. You had a second movie. You just want to go to sleep earlier.
What was the Grinch 7/8, Doug?
Yes, I was also wondering
I'm
that
curious about the
myself.
7/8.
It was a typo. I only like the first 7/8 of the movie.
Answer
What?
this real quick. Jim Carrey Grinch or animated Grinch?
Animated Grinch.
Good man.
Yeah, the animation.
We would have had a problem if it was the live action one.
Oh my god, we have a problem in my house. Cause
yeah,
she likes the Jim Carrey Grinch.
That one's horrible.
over the cartoon.
What?
Over the cartoon Grinch.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Younger millennials, they fucking dig fucking that Jim Carrey shit.
We just missed that train.
He's horrifying.
Meanwhile,
Yeah.
like us,
He looks like a
what
cat
are we?
too.
What were we? Middle-aged
Kind
millennials? We're like in the middle, right?
Yeah. No, we're
I
still
think we're
millennials.
towards the end there.
All right, middle end. We were more fucking
Millennials
with
goes
like
really
me,
far.
myself, and Irene in 2000 while they're watching that Grinch. Lame.
I think I was still just watching Dumb and Dumber on a loop because my brain is mush.
Either way, Dumb and Dumber's fantastic. All
And Mortal
right,
Kombat.
fine. No Grinch talk today.
We kind of talked about it.
We did. We snuck it in there.
Doug and his audibles.
I'm getting angry text messages. And one of them is the Grinch with Jim Carrey.
You're gonna die in your sleep
And
tonight.
there's another one.
Was the other one Christmas Vacation?
Nope. Well, yeah. The first one was Christmas Vacation. Now I'm getting angry Jim Carrey the Grinch gifts, which is
Sorry,
hilarious.
Callie.
I like it.
We're gonna have to find a new JP after this week. JP's not gonna be
Maybe.
alive. He's gonna be smothered in sleep.
Perhaps.
Well, we're on to you, JP. Which
Yeah,
Christmas movies do you like?
So I picked the Grinch, the animated. No, well, the first one I picked right off the head is A Christmas Story, because Christmas Story, and I'll kill
Classic.
you, Doug. I'll really kill you.
Oh yeah, this
Christmas
is going to be a
Story
fight. This is a duel right now.
is the quintessential Christmas movie.
Here, you guys have to like look at each other right now.
I mean, where is he?
Is that capable of doing? He's on the top left. You're on the top right. Right?
JP, look to your right. Doug, look to your left.
Am I looking the right way?
Your
No,
left.
Doug.
Your
Looking
left,
No.
Doug.
The wrong way.
Your
Guy
left.
can't even look the right way, and he's.
Oh,
he's
this is
There
this
we
is
go.
cool.
Yeah.
Movie
I don't know
fight.
about this.
Give me some Mortal Kombat posts or poses.
I can't look off.
If you don't watch A Christmas Story at least twice a Christmas, is it really Christmas?
Yeah, what is wrong with you,
The
Doug?
answer is no.
That movie's horrifying. There's nothing like like Christmas movies are supposed to make you feel good.
Are they
It's
Warm
not
though?
even a
inside.
movie about killing Santa Claus.
Are they?
And a man gets cursed to be Santa Claus for the rest of his life.
That
And this
movie's-
movie's
But he
horrifying.
learns to accept the fact that he's been cursed.
Tim
And
Allen's-
Ralphie learns not to shoot fucking metal at like 3 feet away with a BB gun.
It's
I
a
don't know.
com-
He might not. He might have one eye after the.
it's a coming of age story
What's
that
more-
takes place at Christmas.
Yeah.
What's more horrifying than getting your fucking tongue stuck to a fucking pole
That shit happens every year.
and then
I
having to
mean-
like
It taught us all a valuable lesson.
Yeah,
Don't stick your tongue on a pole.
Yeah.
I never forgot that.
neither did
I
I.
worked with a guy that forgot that he
I
stuck
never-
his tongue to a.
I
wrench.
wasn't like, oh, let me have some hot chocolate now and like play Christmas music. I'm like,
Where's this going with?
Yeah.
Hot chocolate, man.
Christmas movies, I want to feel good. I want to feel like in the
But-
Christmas spirit,
But you do.
but I don't want
by
to be
the end.
fucking horrified while watching some kid's tongue get ripped apart because he was stupid and he licked a fucking pole. And
When he goes to sleep on Christmas Eve and wakes up, and the next day it's all covered in snow, and the presents have came. It's fucking magic.
It's not called Doug's Ideal
Magical.
Christmas Story. It's called A Christmas Story. It's a story
It's
about
not
a
a-
family on Christmas.
But they're all happy
Leading
at the
up.
end.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it has a happy
They're-
ending.
They're together. Their family. They're happy. They're eating Chinese
And,
food.
and I've noticed this that the
They're
parents,
laughing.
The parents get sloshed on Christmas Eve, and they
They
wake
like-
up the next morning. He's
They
got
like
a
to par-
headache.
They like to
Yeah.
party.
He's got a headache. He's all hung over, and she drops the ball, and then they're drinking wine after they're done with the presents.
Yeah.
Dude, they party.
Hair of the dog.
They party. And then the movie
Yeah.
ends, and they're both sitting there on the chair, and it's
And then
snowing, and they watch the street.
And it just deals with the humiliations of being like a kid, like just dealing with bullshit, having to wear the pink bunny outfits, like have to pretend to be cute when you're like too old for that shit.
To be bullied all the time by some
Yeah.
crazy guy.
Just not getting your
That's
Christmas
not
present.
what I want out of my Christmas movie.
Getting the bar
Santa
soap.
kicking you down a slide. Just
Oh my god,
classic
it's so
things.
funny.
It's just like it's not really even like. I mean, I don't know. It almost doesn't even feel like it's a Christmas movie.
Doug,
The
you're-
whole movie revolves around Christmas.
It doesn't though. It doesn't.
It's literally
It happens
all
to be
about what he wants
Christmas.
for Christmas.
It's a Christmas story, Doug.
Oh, you're not gonna
But-
die hard me here, man. You're not gonna give me the it just takes place around Christmas, doesn't make it. This is a Christmas story. It's all about Christmas.
It's not really though. It deals with like all these other things, and it
the
just
main
happens
plot
to be
point
Christmas.
is him
Yeah.
wanting to get a Red Ryder BB gun for Christmas.
For Christmas.
Right, that's a plot point, but it doesn't.
That's
it's not
the
what
plot.
the entire movie.
That's the plot.
Not really though. The plot is this kid like having this like fucking terrifying life.
No, that's just the setting of the movie is him having a terrifying life. Because he grew up in the Midwest in the fucking 40s. That sucks. It's like the most boring life you could possibly have. He's just some yokel.
Synopsis. In the 1940s, a young boy named Ralphie attempts to convince his parents, his teachers, and Santa that a Red Ryder BB gun really is the perfect Christmas gift.
I mean, you don't have to convince me. It's a Christmas movie. Fucking in this goddamn
The Christmas
title of the movie.
Doug, you're...
You just don't throw it in the title and all of a sudden it's a Christmas movie.
it's the plot
I
of the
mean,
movie.
if you hear one movie with Christmas in the title that is 100% not a Christmas movie.
Doug, I'd have your back if the
Christmas
movie
Story.
was like in July and it was called A Christmas Story. Then I'd be like, okay.
So is that
you
is
got
that all it takes?
Oh, what a beautiful
It just has
summer!
to-
I wonder what I want
has
for
to take
Christmas.
place. Just has to take place during Christmas.
I mean, it's
part
of it.
That is a Christmas type of movie. That's usually when
The
they
whole
take place.
movie builds
I
up to the
can think
Christmas
of another
scene where they
movie.
get
I
their
can think of another
presents.
movie that happens to take place during Christmas and
We're getting-
involve
what, we're getting
a Christmas
Die Hard.
present.
We're getting into Die Hard right now? Or are we getting into Die Hard
I'm just
right
saying
You
I
can't
guess-
Die Hard a Christmas story. You can't do it. You can't make the Die Hard argument against a Christmas story, and it's not Gremlins either.
Well, you know where I stand on that one, on Die Hard. So.
Wrong.
And I'm not. It is... No.
Man,
No, let's fucking do it. We're deep into it now. We're talking Gremlins and Die Hard and Christmas Story all at once.
Die
right
Hard
now.
is a Christmas movie. It takes place
one
at
of
Christmas.
these things
There's
is
Christmas
not like
music
the
in
other.
it.
One of these things is actually a Christmas movie.
Die Hard is a Christmas movie.
Nah, false.
Takes place
It's
at
an
Christmas.
action thriller
That takes
about him
place at
murdering
Christmas.
people.
Follow your
Happens to
logic
take
of-
place on Christmas.
It
No, because Die Hard's not about what fucking Bruce Willis wants for Christmas, and then some terrorists. Just
It's what
happen to
Hans
show up and
Gruber
kills them
wants
all.
for Christmas.
It's just about the terrorists.
It actually is about what
when
John
Bruce Willis comes
McClane wants
down
for Christmas.
from the tower at the end, fucking the guy from Family Matters doesn't give him a Christmas gift and be like, "Merry Christmas, John McClane."
He gets his marriage back. That's his Christmas gift. That's what he did.
They get divorced
3
by
minutes
Die Hard
after.
3.
Okay,
Yeah.
but we're talking about the first movie here. We're not talking about Die Hard 3. We're talking about the first movie.
If you
That's-
look really closely at the sky at the end of Die Hard, you can see Santa and his sleigh fly by.
That movie is a Christmas movie. I watched it
No, it's
yesterday. It is.
It's
It
a
is.
movie that takes place on Christmas.
And there's Christmas music, and the plot revolves around Christmas.
There's barely any Christmas
Yes,
music.
there's actually quite a bit of Christmas music in it.
All right, go through every musical cue in the movie right now.
Yep.
There's
Play the soundtrack now.
there
I'm waiting.
there's at least 5 Christmas songs in that movie. At least. I
I
watched
don't
this
think
movie
there's
last
5
night.
songs in that movie.
I watched this last night. It's a fact.
You probably watched
You heard it
Christmas
here.
Vacation last night.
He probably did.
It is not Christmas unless you see Hans Gruber Fallen
Gruber.
Santa Claus there.
complete fuck-
Whatever.
Hans Groper.
Grober.
He's not the terrorist. He's just
It's-
the residential office weirdo.
You have to
It's
see Hans
Groper.
Hans Gruber.
I said Grober.
He's a fish. Hans Gruber's a fish. He's in the fish tank.
You guys
No,
are just sad.
It's not Chris. It's not
So-
You two are sad, and Doug is sad for a whole different reason.
So any movie that takes place around Christmas is a Christmas movie in
Yeah,
December. If
Eight
there's
Crazy
snow,
Nights.
That's
Eight Crazy
not.
Nights. Christmas movie.
Ooh,
Takes place
good
around
point.
Christmas. There's snow.
That's not
Which
the
movie?
plot. The plot.
Eight Crazy Nights.
The plot
movie.
has
Takes place around
direct.
Christmas.
The
Snow.
plot has a direct effect, or Christmas has a direct
No, it doesn't.
effect on the
only
plot.
part
Yes, it
about
does.
the plot that has anything to do with Christmas is a Christmas party. Is Hans Gruber taking over the thing because he wants to capture Santa Claus?
No, but
Because then it's a Christmas movie.
No, but he's
if
going.
the whole terrorist plot is that I'm going to get to the top of the tallest building in LA so I can lasso Santa Claus and steal all the presents, then it's a Christmas movie.
Why does Santa Claus have to be involved in Christmas?
Holy shit.
Santa Claus.
What world are we living in?
Santa Claus himself doesn't have to be, and actually, Santa Claus is in that movie.
Is it just a guy dressed as Santa Claus?
probably some pervert doing cocaine.
Probably. It's Hans Groper.
Doing coke with fucking Ellis.
Yeah.
Just because it's not a happy Christmas movie, Doug, doesn't mean that it's not a Christmas movie.
Dude, we just talked about the least happy Christmas movie in the world before we started this. It's a Wonderful Life. Is the least happy Christmas movie on earth. It's still a Christmas movie.
I mean, A Christmas Story is pretty depressing too.
He gets the
the
gun.
majority of the
man.
movie.
And he gets away with shooting his eye out.
He's
He
gonna-
doesn't get in trouble.
He's gonna
So
kill
Batman-
somebody with that gun.
Is Batman
With a
Returns a
BB
Christmas
gun?
movie?
No.
Oh, yes.
Why not? It's
It
literally
takes place-
Yeah, it's just as much. It is
plot
just as
does
much.
not-
as,
just as
like-
much.
The plot. I mean, you can
Isn't
argue
the last
it, but
line in it "Happy Holidays, sir"? Or some
Yeah,
shit like
and-
that. Boom, Christmas.
And they're the whole jig of them coming out of the trees with the presents and everything like that.
There you go.
it's a movie I enjoy on Christmas, but I don't particularly think that it's a Christmas movie. You can argue it. I'm not going to say you're wrong or you're right.
No, I'm saying it's not because
It's not.
neither is Die Hard.
If Die Hard's a Christmas movie, then Batman Returns is a Christmas movie. It's actually more of a Christmas movie because I think more of it takes place with Christmas themed
like-
things. And he
Just
says "Happy Christmas"
plot
or whatever
doesn't
the fuck,
directly
sir, at the end.
The plot
And there's
of
a cat.
Batman Begins, Batman Returns doesn't directly involve Christmas or directly affect.
That-
Christmas doesn't directly affect it.
Yes, it does.
There's trees
Not
everywhere.
directly.
How does Christmas?
It's just
directly
a
affect-
setting. It's a.
That's
it's
how
a
the
setting at
penguin.
beginning.
That's how the
Yeah,
penguin.
that's how the penguin
reveals
like makes his
himself.
grand
And entrance.
But how does Christmas directly affect fucking Die Hard? It could take place on any fucking day of the year.
The penguin stealing the firstborn kids is more of a religious thing than anything in Die Hard.
Hans does it on Christmas Eve for a particular reason.
Murph, you've convinced me. Batman Returns is a Christmas movie.
Is Batman Returns more of a Christmas movie than a Batman movie? Because Batman's fucking barely in it.
Penguin
Was it-
shows up and doesn't he have like presents for everybody?
They're just going to change the title to A Very Batman Christmas.
Die Hard.
That's what Tim Burton originally wanted to call it,
Die Hard is a
but then
Christmas.
you had to go with Batman Returns.
Batman Returns for Christmas.
Die Hard.
There
is
was
my-
also there's also a Christmas party in Batman Returns, the Masquerade Christmas Party.
This is true.
No. No, you convinced me, Murph. It's a Christmas movie. Merry Christmas to all.
It's all a good night.
The bar for Christmas movies is just lowering and lowering and lowering.
There's been plenty of movies where like the
I think-
last scene of it just happens to take place at Christmas. Like they'll do a 6 months later. By this logic, they're all fucking Christmas movies.
Oh, Liar Liar. Christmas movie. Last
Yeah.
scene takes place on Christmas. Boom.
That's one of them.
There you go. Born on the 4th of July. Christmas movie.
All right. I think that was all of our duels. We got them out of the way. So I'll just go through the. I guess my movies are all that's left. No, JP, you had one other
I
movie.
got my last one, which is near and dear to my heart and probably my favorite Christmas movie, and that's Scrooged, starring Bill Murray. It's an absolutely fantastic movie. It's the whole Scrooge story, but Bill Murray's a modern day asshole. Some absolutely amazing comedic performances in it, and just one I watch every single year. It's one of the few movies I own, like on a digital platform that I watch all the time. I love it. If you've never seen it, it's 100% worth the watch. And I can't say enough about it. If you
I haven't seen it in a long ass time.
Do we all agree Scrooge is a Christmas movie?
I haven't seen it, but I have seen a very Merry Christmas, and it was the fucking worst thing I've ever
Very
seen.
Murray Christmas?
Yeah, it's on
heard of
Netflix. It's complete garbage. Don't ever watch it.
Does it star Bill Murray?
Yes, it's so bad.
Yeah,
it is true.
Scrooge is good though. I'll vouch for Scrooge.
Scrooge is great. It's got Bobcat, and he plays that. Forget what his name is. Every fucking year, Pelagia would know. He shouts out that movie all the time.
Yeah, he's a big Scrooge guy.
It's a great movie. Elliot. His life goes down the shitter throughout the entire movie. You could watch just those parts, and it's hilarious. But there's this whole movie around it, and the ghosts are great. I love that movie. That's Christmas for me. Scrooged.
All right, and then my two are Jingle All the Way and The Night Before. So I went with two. Well, at this point, I feel like Jingle All the Way is a pretty popular Christmas movie
because it's only like somewhat about Christmas and mostly about just Arnold Schwarzenegger.
It's mostly about like commercialism and the evils of it.
And the post office workers being insane.
Yeah. Just fucking got a deranged Sinbad performance. Where he's just threatening to blow things up all the time if he doesn't get what he wants and just going postal. He has fucking Rodney King references. It's like a way over kids' heads.
Is that one of Phil Hartman's last movies?
He had a few more after. But yeah, Phil Hartman was just like trying to get with the married wife. Super creep. Just a very funny Christmas movie, and I feel for all the parents out there who have dealt with a similar situation in their life where they're trying to get the hot toy for the holidays and have to go through hell to get it.
We lucked out having Amazon because
our generation is fucking like set.
Well, now there's
the internet. It's gonna be a little easier to get it. I'll just download a bot so I can get a PS7 for my child.
You have to fight the scalpers.
Fucking stores.
Yeah. I love Jingle All the Way because I love it portraying Arnold Schwarzenegger as like a homebred American husband. Even though he's just like, I'm from California. I'm just living here in Illinois, and my wife.
Dude, I mean, I think we have to have a serious conversation. Is Arnold a better comedic actor than an action star? Totally. I feel like he is.
Yeah.
I would choose to watch his comedies over his action movies. Probably not. No, a lot of times.
He's a really funny guy. He does a good job.
Terminator 2 is also his performance is somewhat comedic.
Yeah.
That's where he started to shine with. Whoa, this guy can be funny.
I mean, he had his
Cameron was like
Twins, Terminator 2, Kindergarten Cop, Jingle All the Way. I was never a big Junior fan, but it exists.
Commando for its own reasons.
Yeah, Commando's just hilarious, as we've talked about before.
Yeah. No, Arnold's great. I would definitely watch him as being a funny actor over Terminator 2 is probably the only one where I'm gonna put that in over any of the comedies.
The only shameful part about Jingle All the Way is it did introduce the world to Anakin Skywalker, the baby Anakin Skywalker from Episode 1, Little Annie. And I don't know how the fuck George Lucas hired him because he couldn't even act in Jingle All the Way.
He had that bowl cut, and that's all he wanted. He's like, that kid will be great on the poster. Can he act? I don't give a shit.
Yeah, it's truly, truly bad performance. That's Jingle All the Way. Then my other one is a more recent film from 2015, The Night Before. So it's an R-rated Christmas comedy. The majority of the movie takes place on Christmas Eve. Stars Seth Rogen, Joseph Gordon-Levitt, and Anthony Mackie. Just three friends who've spent Christmas Eve together for I don't know, 10 plus years, and then they're getting older and dealing with their own shit, and the tradition's coming to an end, and it's just their last Christmas Eve celebrating together, and they get in so many different crazy shenanigans. Michael Shannon is like their weird guide like throughout all of it, and I don't know. It's really fun.
I've actually never seen it.
Who's seen it?
I haven't seen it since theaters, but
Yeah, we saw it in
haven't seen
theater.
it.
We saw
shit
it
my
in
pants
theaters
in the
together.
theaters. That was
Me, and Derek saw it in theaters together.
Yeah.
We were all dying. Dude, Derek was dying at the parts with the
Jewish
sweatshirts.
guys, and he's got the Hanukkah sweater on. They're like, ah.
I gotta check it out. I have not seen it.
It's hilarious. I gotta watch it again. Does it hold? Have you seen it since theaters?
Yeah, I've seen it. I have it on Blu-ray. I've watched
Does
it a
it
bunch of
hold up?
times. Oh yeah, it holds up very well.
I'm gonna watch that leading up to Christmas.
It's from the director of 50/50 and Long Shot, so he's worked with Rogan a bunch of times.
It's
And
a complete 180 in terms of tone.
yeah, in regards to 50/50.
Yeah, I guess the long shot's a comedy.
Yeah, exactly. But it's got a great supporting cast: Lizzie Kaplan, Mindy Kaling, Jillian Bell, Jason Mantzoukas, Ilana Glazer, just a ton of people. Damn, I'm looking at Tracy Morgan, Randall Park, Nathan Fielder, plenty of people. Miley Cyrus, and Franco.
Right, and Franco, yep.
So yeah, I would. It was definitely it didn't do great at the box office. I think it was like a mild success. Hence why 2 of the 4 of us have not seen it. But if you're looking for something different to watch this holiday season, I would definitely suggest this one.
Yeah, I'll definitely watch it this week.
And they play Goldeneye.
I've heard good things.
They love Goldeneye in it, so they're totally good people.
Yes.
Right, Corey?
Yeah. Yeah.
Golden. Oh, you agreed.
There
Cool.
you go.
No, I'm
You
just
heard it
not. I'm not arguing.
Yep.
I have notes from my producer. I would like to bring up the Christmas Story argument one more time. If Christmas Story is not a Christmas movie, and that it just builds up to Christmas, then Home Alone is not a fucking Christmas movie.
I mean,
Neither is The Night Before. Not like barely anyone's are. Only so many of them. Jingle All the Way isn't.
Yep.
Every movie we brought up doesn't even count. There are no Christmas.
The Santa
movies.
Claus. The Santa Claus still holds up.
It doesn't take. The majority of the movie takes place random
Not
parts
in
of the
Christmas.
year.
Yeah.
yeah.
He lives an entire
At the North
year
Pole.
before Christmas.
You go to the
Doesn't matter.
North Pole.
It's not
They're hanging out in the North Pole.
So any movie set in the Arctic is instantly a Christmas movie then?
No,
The
I'm
thing.
just saying.
The thing counts.
More-
The
entire movie deals-
That's like the opposite of Christmas.
The entire
It's like
movie
if
deals
Christmas
with
was hell.
Christmas.
Does it though? I
And-
think it deals with divorce also.
It does. Actually, he gets and obesity and
Yeah.
You guys are
fired from your
arguing in
job. It's more of like a adult drama where a man just loses grip on his life and gets fired from his job, loses his wife,
That
gets
happens.
fat,
Yep.
And-
can't shave his face.
And the life of David Krumholtz is Bernard, pulling all the strings. He is the real Santa Claus.
And isn't it weird that a grown man goes and chooses to live out an entire year amongst a bunch of children?
It's actually also
How weird is that?
I mean,
Doug?
that's.
it's actually also like a thriller too, because there is a murder that happens in the first couple of minutes of the movie.
Yeah.
Murder Santa
I mean,
Claus.
I wouldn't call that like a
This went in a
thriller. No one's trying to like catch him for the murder of Santa Claus.
Because
cops
no
are
one-
Just like, oh, you're.
the cops are trying. Yeah.
Yeah, they
The
are.
cops
yeah.
try to catch him in Act 3.
Yep.
You guys arrested.
For the murder of Santa Claus?
No, for breaking and entering.
Yeah.
Really?
That's a. I don't. That's not a thriller.
There's a jailbreak.
Yeah.
It's a Christmas
Sorry.
heist.
What
It's
happens?
So
not,
no-
it's not. It's not
What?
a thriller.
What happens to Santa Claus's body? Does he get rid of it? Do we?
Disappears.
No, it like disappears
It
for some reason.
disappears.
It's like a Force
It's like the
Ghost.
Wicked Witch.
It's like Star Wars.
He's like
He
a
gets
Force
hit by a
Ghost.
house, and then his feet curl up underneath it.
Oh, then he puts the hat on, and then he's Santa Claus.
Yeah.
He's cursed. See, this is
So-
more. I
Yeah.
think it's more of a thriller, murder mystery.
I have our episode title. There are no Christmas movies. Because apparently there are no fucking Christmas movies.
All right, that's it
I
then.
think
Christmas is fucking canceled. Happy 2020.
I think everything we talked about is a Christmas movie.
The segment's
except
over.
For A Christmas Story.
Then Home Alone's not a Christmas movie.
Just take that one off. No, we didn't even talk about Home Alone.
Yeah, but it's not. It's the exact same premise. Nothing about that movie has anything to do with Christmas, actually, other than the fact that they leave him, and then it happens to be Christmas at the end. It's all about him being home alone.
His parents are terrible.
Well, no, they were
Worst parents
traveling to be away for Christmas, weren't they?
Yeah, and
Yeah.
Yeah, they're going to Paris for.
So Christmas was like an integral part of the story, and then it's all about.
Doug, Christmas is an integral part of a Christmas story. It is actually the only
Not
part
really,
of the
though.
movie.
Not really though, and then the whole reason the robberies are taking place is because it's Christmas, and Christmas is like an ideal time to rob houses because you can tell who's out of town based on the light timers for the Christmas lights.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
First, like,
I'm going to call it. We're going to call this
1998,
section.
huh?
Yeah, let's go on to our yearly film series.
That was a dry year.
And Merry Christmas, everyone.
Yeah.
So
Happy
1998. Or Happy
holidays.
Hanukkah.
Happy
Or
Hanukkah.
whatever you
Whatever you
celebrate.
celebrate.
Yep.
But yeah, 1998. We're getting closer to the millennium, to Y2K. So that's exciting.
It's when all movies stop being made
Yeah.
because Y2K blew out all the technology of the world. And
Exactly. You're not even watching this on a computer or phone right now. I don't know how you're watching. It's a VHS tape?
ham radio, I think. Broadcasting over the airlines.
But yeah, let's quickly go through 4 films we got. Corey?
I chose Enemy of the State. This was actually one of the first DVDs that I bought back in the day. I don't remember if I got it in '98 or not, but yeah. So
Big Willie fan?
yeah, I think Will Smith's awesome in this movie. This is a classic. So you have Will Smith, you have Gene Hackman, kind of reprising his role as the character that he plays from The Conversation. It's a very similar character, very very similar. John Voight, you got Lisa Bonet. I think Regina King. I think she's in it too. But it's like a espionage film. I think Will Smith plays a lawyer who ends up getting some type of government technology. He hits like someone who has it, and then the government's after him. He gets all tangled up in all of this crazy shit. The government. It's a solid movie. Gene Hackman's not in a lot of it. He comes in like halfway through, but I think this is one of Will Smith's like stronger dramatic roles, I think. So that's the one that I chose.
Good movie.
Yeah, got good action, good acting.
I remember my parents renting this and seeing my dad watch this. That's my memory of this movie.
This movie,
Yeah,
I
I
remember
remember seeing the trailers and some of it on TV. I've never seen the entire thing.
Isn't this like the exact same movie as Eagle Eye? That Shia LaBeouf movie?
Wait,
Didn't they just
movie.
completely rip this movie off?
that movie was a stinker.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
It's really bad.
kind of. But this definitely, I remember this used to scare the shit out of me. Like after I saw it, because we were how old were we?
11.
Yeah. So after seeing this movie, I thought the government was watching me. Like I was.
They are.
Well,
they
not
are.
till like 2001.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
2002.
But
Get a
it's
few
an-
more years of privacy.
But as an 11-year-old watching this movie and like grasping as much as I guess I could have grasped it as an 11-year-old.
Hey, government.
Yeah. You sounded
And-
like a crazy person for 3 years, Corey,
Mm.
and then you were completely right.
Yeah. And my brother loved this movie, so like he would tell me all kinds of shit and like scare the shit out of me. So I just remember being terrified after I saw this, and then I continued to watch it, periodically.
Yeah.
It's a good movie.
All right,
It does.
Doug.
I picked the sci-fi movie Dark City.
Christmas movie.
Yeah.
A Christmas classic, Dark City. It's a cool movie. I don't know how you can like talk too much about Dark City without like feeling it. I think a lot of people haven't seen this movie for some reason. I don't know if it. I'm guessing it didn't like perform particularly well at the box office.
No, I don't think it did. It's definitely a cult
Did
classic.
not.
But it's cool. It's like I love the setting. Everything's like very dark.
That's a shocker. Hence the
In a city.
title.
Yeah, and I love the city aspect of it.
It's such a dark city, ominous and dark.
They really
It's
nailed
just,
that
like,
title.
Yeah, but like character wakes up with starting with a pre-24 Kiefer Sutherland. Wakes up with amnesia, doesn't know what's going on. I believe he's being like framed for murder, or he somehow was involved in a murder. Doesn't really remember much, and then like the story just fucking goes from there, and like there's like a mystery plot thread as to like what the hell is really going on, and gets super sci-fi, and I love it.
Such a good movie.
And so, yeah,
Heavy
I
noir
think
vibes.
Mm-hmm.
I love the look of like the strangers, with like they've got like the hat and the coat, and they're just like the look.
Yeah, the
It's super
cinematography of this movie is really unique. There's not many movies that are like it, from what I remember. It got a very unique vibe.
It feels like a
that-
bad dream.
Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah, that's exactly how it feels, and it's like very intentional because it's supposed to feel like a bad dream.
Yeah. I love this.
Um,
Was this based on something? Or was this an
don't
original
know.
idea?
I don't know. I want to say that it was a story of some sort. I don't know if it was a comic book or something, but I want to say that it's not original. I'm not quite sure.
Oh, influences. No, I think this was an original screenplay.
Yeah.
Based very much on noir and like Twilight Zone episodes. Apparently, according to Wikipedia, there's no source material for this. It's a really cool idea. I love this movie so much.
Yeah, and the way like shift around on a daily basis, it's just like
Yeah.
so good. But yeah, you can't like talk too much about it without just spoiling what the whole thing is.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
definitely a movie you have to just sit down and just experience to kind of get the full breadth.
A good movie, and aptly named.
Because of the darkness and the cities. I don't have too much to say for 1998. I talked about this movie on the last episode a whole bunch. That's Blade.
Techno music.
Yeah, techno music, anti-hero, vampire that can walk during the day, played by Wesley Snipes. Stephen Dorff is the villain.
Chris
And then
Christopherson.
Chris Christopherson as his as Blade's loyal sidekick and father figure. It's a fantastic movie. The only thing that's better than it is the second one. But in a
Yeah,
just
no.
because it's completely different in every way,
Yeah.
but they still keep the characters so well, just in their wheelhouse. I love Blade. It's something I remember seeing as a child. Probably not at 90. This is like a hard rated R, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They say motherfucker a lot. in this
Yeah, I didn't
movie.
see it till VHS.
Yeah, I definitely saw it when it came out. I don't remember seeing this one in theaters.
I remember I was visiting family, and I basically I was kept busy for a couple hours, so I went to the video store, and I rented this, unbeknownst to my dad, what I was renting. And I remember sitting down and watching this, and I was like, "Holy shit! I should not be watching this."
Yeah.
And I was
The
hooked.
first scene is just so fucking good. 'Cause
Yeah.
They bring that guy to the rave, and then everyone's trying to eat him, and he's running around, and everyone stops, and it pans up to Blade, and you fucking instantly realize why everyone stops, and he just starts fucking people's day up. Oh, what a good introduction to a superhero. It's rarely topped in my mind. That scene is just so fucking cool.
That was one of the first too of like the modern, somewhat modern, like Marvel Studios in a way. That was like one of the first ones that they did.
The one that this reminds me of and is kind of on par with me is Spawn. This movie and Spawn feel the same way, when you just like realize that a superhero can be dark and morally gray and just beat the shit out of people and kill them, but still be good.
New Line made both of those.
Yeah,
and Dark City.
I like both of those movies, and Dark City. Yeah.
Well,
I love Blade, and I'm pretty hyped for a new Blade, but Wesley Snipes will always be Blade.
Yeah,
except for the third movie.
And you can watch him in season 1 of What We Do in the Shadows.
Hell yeah, you can. Over a lovely Skype call. Oh, I love that.
All right, and then I've got I went in a completely opposite direction as the three of you with your R-rated films. I got Disney's The Parent Trap, the Lindsay Lohan one. It's probably the last movie I saw in theaters before going to middle school, so it feels like the end of childhood. Before I would be like, I'm not going to see a movie with my parents. I'm a fucking angsty middle school person.
Get away from me, Mom. I'm in 6th grade.
Yeah, I'm an adult now. But yeah, it was like the introduction to Lindsay Lohan. She had so much promise between like this and Mean Girls and Freaky Friday, and then she just went off a fucking cliff. But it just shows what happens to child actors. Because I mean, she kills 2 roles in this. She legitimately seems like she's 2 different characters, and plays them both well, and then takes the 2 characters and plays them as if she is playing the other one, and makes that convincing too. So I love those whole body swap movies and everything like that. And this is kind of like a body swap movie that's without the actual body swap.
Actual bodies swap.
Yeah,
it's more like a role swap instead of a body swap. Yeah.
But the same.
Although she does do a body swap.
Exactly. Yeah. So it's a kind of like it's a mouthful, but yeah, the movie holds up. It's like one of the Disney movies from the 90s, like the live action ones that I would actually go back to and watch and think is very good. In both its funny and dramatic aspects. Dennis Quaid's solid as the dad. Natasha Richardson as the mom. Sucks she passed away. I know they did a reunion this past year, and I think they got everyone except for her, obviously. But yeah, it's just a well-made family film with a star-making performance out of somebody who should have been a star for much longer.
Yeah.
But
I remember getting this VHS from my grandma, who gave us very bootleg VHS. And we watched this a lot in my house. I remember everyone thought Lindsay Lohan was actually 2 different people.
That's wild
in this movie.
But I mean, yeah, it was like her first thing, so nobody knew who she was.
Yeah.
Everyone probably thought it was twins.
Yeah,
yeah.
At least everyone I knew that had watched that movie,
Yeah, like Mary-Kate and Ashley
my
Olsen.
family were.
Yeah, like it's very convincing, and it is a million times better than the Mary-Kate and Ashley one that came out a few years before that. It Takes Two. That movie was a stinker.
Yeah, I also got that one on
remember
a
that.
bootleg VHS along with all their other ones because
Wasn't Steve Guttenberg in that?
Yeah, him and Kirstie Alley. The Goot couldn't even save it.
I love the Goot.
I do like that movie though.
But yeah, that's 1998. So we'll finish up the 90s next week with what's considered probably the one of the greatest years in film history, 1999. But yeah, that's all we got for today. Thanks again for listening. I don't know how long this went, but it felt like we talked about Disney stuff for a really long time. But please like, follow, subscribe to the various pages, especially YouTube. like our posts or our videos or whatever when you're on them. That helps us if you do like them. At least we haven't gotten downvotes yet, so that's always a positive. Hopefully I didn't inspire anyone to do that. But as always, this has been Corey, Doug, JP, and Murph at Live Breathe Film. We'll be back next week, and we hope you are too. Have a good one.